The conflict.
What am I hearing? How could you even possibly begin to claim this? So, Hutch literally couldn't engage. Hutch couldn't do it. Now I'm pissed.
Now I'm fucking pissed.
Now I'm pissed.
That's crazy.
Now I'm pissed. Now I'm mad. We can talk. We can talk, no problem. Hutch thinks not exactly well, it should be easy then, right? It should be easy. Literally the most famous thing this guy's ever done, other than quickscoping. It's got nothing to do with me, and fuck you for asking me to try and fix it. Correct, yeah. Thanks, Hutch. Wow.
Inspiration.
This guy's like CIA trained or something, no? Dude, Hutch, take your fucking fingers out your nose, man. It's constant. One thing I noticed. Now, I don't have the extension installed in this browser, so I probably need to do that. But if you go to Hutch on Twitch, you'll notice something, okay? You go to recent broadcasts. Obviously, most of these are subscribed to view. But do you see what happens here? Do you see what happens here? If we just inspect a little bit. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, last month. And we can just check here. This is actually last month. This is like a month ago. We're approaching it. So, there's a lot missing here. There's a lot missing here. Like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of VODs. I noticed this last night. And that one of the things that was missing was actually the video of him reacting to WillyMac's video about me, where WillyMac basically accused me of doxing. So I thought maybe we'd take a look at that and then maybe see what else is in those 2 weeks of missing VODs. Because I still have access to them. Unfortunately for Hutch. But let's see if I can get this extension installed. 2 seconds. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So, which VOD was this? Which VOD? Let's have a look. I can just find WillyMacShow.
Early.
When was this video? It was
literally a sign.
11th of August. I think. Back then. Whoops. Okay. Fuck. I think that's fine. I think that works.
It was wrong for Halo. I can't speak to Halo. I'm not like a big Halo guy, you know. Okay.
So WillyMac calls in on this stream too, by the way.
A mystery interview at 11 a.m. Pacific. Not gonna tell you who it is.
That reminds me. He said Pacific time. Guys, 7:30 Pacific time. I believe that's like 2:30 for me or something. Something around there, or maybe 3:30. 7:30 Pacific time today. We will be on Kick. We will be watching the new Kamen Rider series premiere. Live, okay? I think we'll be doing that. It's gonna be epic. Okay, guys. So, huge things on Kick tonight, okay?
Not gonna tell you who it is, but I think you guys are gonna dig the conversation. Let me that over there. And in the meantime, we're gonna check out this WillyMac video that he just dropped yesterday.
It's airing on YouTube, so I feel safe, you know, rebroadcasting.
Because this story's crazy. This is crazy. The online politics space is just getting nuts. Yeah, guys. Okay, no spoilers, but yeah, I will be interviewing Benjamin Netanyahu at about 11 a.m.
We're going down here.
This is a very interesting career opportunity for me. It's not Econo Boy, I'll tell you that. What am I? Hold on one second. There it is. Okay. Okay, WillyMac dropped this video. Was it yesterday? 16 hours ago was yesterday. And this story is fucking insane. This is what it is to spar with certain groups of people on the internet. It just leads to crazy things.
Least mentally aped JJK
now. Okay. All right. Here we go.
PS on Ethan and Gila. Bad Empanada is a known doxer and harasser. If you go on his Twitter account at any time, you could see him doxing people. He's probably the most famous for being the one who claimed he called CPS on Ethan and Gila. He's constantly encouraged and defended people doing it. He literally opened up a CPS merch line because he thinks it's so funny.
Got a hat. I did
Oh,
CPS,
Portobello,
CPS
dude, I'm
logo
gonna have to
with
skip
the
it. I actually can't watch the clip again. I'm gonna have to skip when the clip comes up. I actually can't do it again. I can't do it like the 500th time.
Skulls, of course. 2 skulls.
Center for Proletarian Solidarity.
Not a reference to anything in
That's
particular.
funny.
He knowingly
Look, you literally cannot deny that's funny.
defames people. In my
You
last
cannot
video,
deny
I
that's
pointed out
funny.
that Bad Empanada constantly claims that Lonerbox's dad was part of a militia group that killed a bunch of civilians. No evidence for it.
Jesus
It's the most
Christ.
forced laugh I've ever heard. And then he just doubles down on everything he made up.
He complains that I called Lonerbox. That I said that Lonerbox's dad participated in the Sabra and Shatila massacre, which he absolutely did, by the way. Lonerbox has never disproven this until he disproves
Mechanical
it. It's true.
Violator
I shouldn't be
Hakeda.
surprised
I don't know what that is. Garo is my next show that I'm like eyeing up. Okay, Garo, Golden Knight Garo is the next one I'm looking at.
When my docs gets found, Bad Empanada immediately
I just don't get, like, I just don't get, you know, like Hassan knows all this about BE. Like, he knows all of this, or he knows a good deal. He knows enough to know
I did
that
think
BE
about watching
is,
it enough, but I don't really
he's
care
like a
about him.
fucking online terrorist. I don't know what,
not
how
interested.
else to describe him. He's like an actual digital terrorist. There is some kind of mental illness there. I don't know what to say. I mean, like, I'm not qualified to give any diagnosis.
So this is all this guy does. All this guy does is go, yeah, that seems like mental illness. This seems like, can you like engage with like anything that's remotely like substantive, like 2 seconds, Hutch? Do you do that at any point on your stream, or is it just like the most SSRI'd out, therapized gay old loser sitting there going, oh, actually, you guys need therapy. Actually, you guys need, for like 6 fucking hours every day. You know, like talk about something of worth for like 5 minutes.
There's some kind of pathology going on here. This is beyond intense or adversarial internet banter. We're just so well past that point with this guy. And so the fact that Hassan still regularly will bring it, well, I don't know about regularly, but semi-regularly will bring up this guy's videos on his stream and promote the channel. It's pretty fucking bananas.
Wait, so you're saying that people that are like super mentally ill and destructive to those around them shouldn't be platformed? You shouldn't like promote their content? Is that what you're saying, Hutch?
So annoying how they just make up lies about people and then
that's not my position. That's not really my position. But if that's Hutch's position, I'd like to see that, you know, held in his content.
Who knowingly or unknowingly amplify the lie to millions on social media. Dude, listen, I'm very familiar with their game, okay? These people have lied about me. The 2 biggest lies that I see in my mentions pretty regularly, like definitely every week, not every day, but definitely every week, is people will accuse me of owing Mike from PA $1,500. We never made a bet. And people will accuse me of justifying.
Dude, this is like, dude, this is the bane of Hutch's existence. Is this disputed bet with Mike from PA? I don't know any of the details of this, but this is literally the bane of this guy's fucking life. That is the #1 lie plaguing this guy right now. The #1 lie is, Mike from PA keeps saying I owe him $1,500 in a bet, and I don't. And he's fucking crying about it. And it's like constant crying.
Even worse, they take it further. People accuse me of wanting every hospital in Gaza to be leveled by Israel. Because they saw a clip of me talking about Charters 18 and 19 from the Geneva Conventions, just citing international law and explaining to my audience what happens.
I was just citing international law. I was just citing international.
The hospital loses its protected status, or why it loses its protected status. I was making no commentary on Israel's conduct. I was not saying that everything that Israel had done was justified. I was simply just explaining what international law says. And now it's like every week these people are like, aren't you the guy that said that fucking every hospital in Gaza should be nuked? So these people do.
I don't think they say that. I don't think they say that.
It drives me insane. It drives me fucking crazy.
I think you might be lying that much.
I don't think lying is a good quality. I don't think that's a good thing to do. It's actually a very bad thing to do, I think, to be especially when you have a massive platform.
So the context here is someone says Israel's committing war crimes in Gaza. They just leveled another hospital. And Hutch is like, well, it's not technically always a war crime to level a hospital. It's like, yeah, people know that. People do generally, if you're not talking like total retards, they know that a hospital can, in some instances, become a valid target. However, when you see hospitals destroyed week after week after week, it makes you question, okay, I haven't really been shown compelling information to justify these strikes in terms of like proportionality, what is it, distinction. Like I haven't seen this really played out. I haven't like seen this explained very well. So at this point, after receiving no explanation for repeated hospital bombings, I'm kind of assuming they're war crimes. I kind of thought this was a war crime. But Hutch goes, well, it's not necessarily a war crime. It's not necessarily a war crime. But yeah, it's not necessarily a war crime, but your pressure should be on the Israeli government to justify their strikes under international law and not simply running like interference against people that are upset about it, right? Otherwise, you're going to get treated like you're running interference, because you kind of are.
We lie about things.
Like, you can't just leave it at, well, it's not a war crime. No, there should be, the focus should be on pressuring for compliance with international law. That should be the focus, if you're like a lib, you know? But a lot of these guys suddenly stop being libs when they start talking about Israel. Very strange.
Things. But we've talked about it a bunch on the stream as of late, but these people, I've figured out their mindset. They think that because they advocate for Gaza, it makes the lies justified. They think that they're justified in smearing people that they don't like because it's all in service to, you know, the cause. And so for them, the ends justify the means. Hutch once beat Hikaru at chess. Not true. That would be fucking incredible if that was true.
Posted everywhere. Uploads a video blasting my name, my bride's name, the address of her wedding, all over the internet. It's also come out that he's swatting people, filing...
No, there is absolutely a liberal view of geopolitics. That's absolutely a thing. Yeah, that's the whole point of having like a rules-based world order, right? That's like, it's like rights, but for states and shit like that. That is a liberal framework. Absolutely. So, I mean, if you're like... you're the real epic-based moderate lib. You know, we're really holding the principles, unlike all these crazy lefties. Then you should kind of be on that page.
Police reports, all while plugging his Patreon. So I figured if he's making money off of my docs, I should too. So thank you, Exter, for helping me cope. Do you have a big, fat, bulky wallet?
Nobody, and I mean nobody, does seamless segues into ad reads quite like WillyMac. Just want to say.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
Bad Empanada fabricating entire background stories about...
Gotta skip. Gotta skip.
Thanks.
Literally nothing of value to say. This guy never has anything of worth to say. It's so crazy.
Is it Adam friended? No. Okay. All right, here we go.
PS on Ethan and Gila. Bad Empanada is a known doxer and harasser. If you go on his Twitter account at any time, you could see him doxing people. He's probably the most famous for being the one who claimed he called CPS on Ethan and Gila. He's
Did he go back?
So annoying how they just make up lies about people and then it gets funneled to bigger communities who knowingly or unknowingly amplify the lie to millions on social media.
Uh-huh.
Dude. Listen, I'm very familiar with their game, okay? These people have lied about me.
No, I went back somehow, even though I pressed ahead of where I was.
It's pretty fucking bananas.
All right, here we go, here we go.
Reveal personal information about people, especially their real names, if it's within journalistic interest, you know, if there is journalistic reason for doing so. And exposing a clear conflict of interest in this guy's content and his personal life is journalistic interest. It
is so bananas. First of all, correct me if I'm wrong, Does WillyMac have a second channel? WillyMac does not cover stuff like geopolitics. I don't know if WillyMac is making videos about the conflict.
What am I hearing? How could you even possibly begin to claim this? You have to actually be so dishonest. My mind is blown, dude. What the fuck? I thought of all places that was gonna go. I cannot fucking believe that's where. How could you seriously claim this? Go to like almost any of these videos. Which one's a good pick? Which one's a good pick?
Last year, I started documenting Hassan for his blatantly false reporting.
I was right about Ukraine. That's right. War is not imminent. Oh,
Oh, this is nothing. This isn't about geopolitics, guys. This isn't about geopolitics. This isn't about world events. This isn't about current affairs.
An Israeli airstrike hit the Al
No politics here,
You were
guys.
so right. They added 7,000 new troops. So what's going to end up happening is that by April, this is going to be done.
IDF didn't bomb the hospital. Change title. IDF didn't bomb the hospital. Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
I criticized him for being a propagandist, coming to conclusions on breaking news when the story hadn't
No, this has
even
got
been
nothing
fully
to do with
reported on.
politics.
You
Our
right now is the
broadcast.
same thing you always do. I'm just saying.
No,
like this,
you
you're
just
doing
stop
it in
saying
real
it's the same thing
time.
you always
you're doing
do.
it in real time, bro.
Over the course of an 8-hour broadcast, if you look to literally 3
How
moments,
come nobody
you
else
can find,
shut
you can
up
find,
as much as you, dude? That does 8-hour broadcasts.
because no one has the most psycho.
No, it's crazy how none of that was him making anything up. Then Willy uses a clip of him accusing Hassan of making something up in this debate. But he didn't make any of that up. He was wrong about some of it, but it wasn't like he was making up events. He assumed the explosion at the hospital was an Israeli bomb, when it wasn't. It was like a Islamic Jihad misfire or whatever. Or so they claim. I mean, I don't know if there's 100% proof on that. I haven't looked into it. But either way, it's like so fucking insane to pretend this isn't about politics. So absurd. And then he's got this retarded point where he got raped in this debate. He got totally raped in this debate with Hassan. He just uses this clip where he's like, why do you make stuff up? Why do you make stuff up? Just like acting indignant with him. Like, bro, you fucking lost that shit so bad. You actually lost that shit so fucking bad.
He's covering drama related to creators that cover this stuff. But he's not dedicating an enormous amount of time, like diving into the politics of it. I don't even know if I know WillyMac's politics.
You can actually just completely distinguish these things. You can actually just totally distinguish these things. They're actually just complete guys. You can actually just completely separate these things. He's just covering drama. He's just covering like the words that are said with no political loading attached whatsoever. What a fucking retarded thing to say. Seriously, what a fucking low IQ. There is really nothing going on in this bald fucking dome. Dense ass, bald ass dome.
I don't even know if I could tell you what kind of politics he has.
Yeah, get your fucking hand off your nose, bro.
I really don't know. Is he center right? Is he center left? I feel like it's one of the two, but I don't know. He's not he covers drama, not politics.
This is totally retarded.
So this idea
This is totally retarded. And also, by the way, if you're like saying something like lame or lame is like outing himself as like seriously low IQ. I kind of agree. WillyMac is purely hating on Hassan because expedient and drama slop sphere. He's talking about politics either way. He is shitting on Hassan's political coverage. He is correcting Hassan's political coverage. He's talking about politics. He's covering politics. It comes from a liberal perspective. When you criticize Hassan, it's from a liberal perspective. Just is the case. You can go through, you can watch those videos. You're just telling me you either haven't seen them or you're operating at an 85 IQ. It's one of the two. It's literally one of the two.
WillyMac has a conflict of interest covering like Ethan stuff, like Ethan and iDub stuff, because his wife is Jewish. Do we like? Is his wife from Israel? Like what? Like even if she was, what is the actual evidence for his coverage being compromised in some way?
Well, that's it's a conflict of interest.
It's just so bananas.
Okay.
Dude,
you're not engaging with the point there at all. You can say it really doesn't matter who WillyMac's wife is, even if his wife is Israeli. Like if you talk about, you know, BLM on the internet, is it okay to dox that your wife's black? Like that would be fucking absurd. Obviously not. That's retarded. It's a thin justification that bad empanadas come up with here. That's the way to counter. The way to counter this is not, can you literally prove that the conflict of interest is completely warped his perspective? If you're accepting there's a conflict of interest there, then yeah, you might not be able to immediately identify how it's affected the coverage. But you're accepting the conflict of interest. You've lost the argument here.
So much for 63 months, buddy.
It's why, for example, I can tell you that the YouTuber Zoomer Historian, a neo-Nazi history YouTuber, is this guy. I can tell you this because it is within journalistic interest to do so, even though he did not release his information himself publicly. Just like how I can tell you that WillyMacShow is William McConville, and he is getting married to a Yale. Now, I am not going to give you the full name of the person he's getting married to.
He literally just scrolled down and showed her full name.
Okay, Dave Timmerman is showing himself, whoever this guy is, completely retarded. Legitimately retarded. So we have first message. Just go back through some of these messages from Dave Timmerman here. This is a bit tortured, but sure. That was in response to saying that this is all politics. And he said something retarded about that earlier, if we can find the previous message. I can't see his previous message. We just go to this latest one that was extra dumb. Where has he gone? Where's Dave Timmerman here? Where's Dave Timmerman? Oh, here it is. Thin justification. Come on, man. It's bad faith, malicious, hackut from that empanada guy. So, yeah, that's what thin justification means. I'm saying he doesn't actually care about the justification. He wants to share the information for the purpose of harassing Willy, and has constructed a thin justification to explain why he's doing so. You following? Are we following? That's what thin justification typically means. It's like, it's not really a justification, it's the air of justification. They're presenting a justification they don't really care about, that doesn't really hold water.
It still doesn't cover her name.
She is Israeli, and she was assigned to him by the Israeli government. They've taken down this page, but as you can see, it is freely available on Google. They, for some reason, as the guy who is a public figure, decided to just publicly announce, in public, his wedding.
How is this allowed on YouTube? He does this thing where he constantly tries to justify his reason for doxing me. He's like,
that's the other thing, too, is like, hold on. Does YouTube not have policies on doxing?
Uh-huh.
YouTube has policies against doxing. The platform prohibits content that threatens to share or encourages sharing non-public, personally identifiable information, which includes home addresses, phone numbers, and more. YouTube's harassment and cyberbullying policies specifically address doxing and other harmful behaviors, especially against minors. If you encounter doxing content, you can report it through YouTube's reporting process. I mean, I just, like, this, BE is known for just relentlessly doxing people.
Yep.
I don't understand. Has he ever been banned on or suspended?
The policy says it has to be
YouTube?
non-public, because YouTube's policies are much looser than Twitch's, or many platforms.
Have there ever been any consequences to this? Does he just make new channels? Like, well, I don't understand.
Yeah, he literally doesn't take his fucking hand off his face.
It's just wild that he gets away with this so flagrantly. It's pretty fucking bananas.
Ethan doxed Denim when he sued them.
This guy has no right to come public his wedding.
How is this allowed on YouTube? He does this thing where he constantly tries to justify his reason for doxing me. He's like, Ethan doxed Denim when he sued them.
This guy has no right to complain about revealing his real name to be doxing. Because WillyMacShow went on the H3 podcast, which is a podcast that frequently doxes people. In Ethan's recent video talking about his
he's tweaking because of the Vyvanse. No. I've been assured by all these DGG types that Vyvanse actually, the moment you start taking it, totally fixes your life. That's what Hutch was saying very recently. And I'm pretty sure that you're just not allowed to question someone's narrative of themselves when they start medication. So
when has
maybe
Ethan
something's unhinged.
Doxed someone? Like revealed their like full name or address or anything like that. When has that ever happened? Effin? Who's that?
Young women. He included unredacted legal filings that he made that include their real names and their real locations.
That's just how legal filings work.
Here's a video clip of Ethan Klein doxing a random Instagram commenter on his show. Ethan goes through the guy's Instagram, brings up
that. What are we calling doxing? Like, hold on, doxing meaning.
What? Wait, what are we calling doxing when you just type in like William? I don't even know if I say it, but he puts it in his video. The name's there, and he was public with his name for this. But I feel bad even saying it. But literally, it was public as fuck. Willy's shit was public as fuck. Through an accident, through a total accident, that Willy didn't realize that wedding website was being made or made public or whatever. But it was put up pretty publicly. It was like one Google search away, right? Willy McPotato, yeah, exactly. WillyMacShow. WillyMacShow. But yeah. It was public as fuck.
Is the act of publicly providing personally identifiable information about an individual or organization, usually via the internet and without their consent. Historically, the term has been used to refer to both the aggregation of this information
Say what?
from
I know what you
public
mean.
databases and social media websites like Facebook, and the publication of previously private information obtained through criminal or otherwise fraudulent means. The aggregation and provision of previously published material is generally legal, though it may be subject to laws concerning stalking and intimidation. Doxing may be carried out for reasons such as online shaming, extortion, and vigilante aid to law enforcement.
It's painful.
United States. In the U.S., there are few legal remedies for the victims of doxing. 2 federal laws exist that could potentially address the problem of doxing. The Interstate Communication Statute.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus Christ, fucking voice crack. Ethan put Denham's name up on his stream in the published segment and in the thumbnail. Even made sure to censor his lawyer's info, and Hutch says it's not doxing, but it's not doxing 100%. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy, the amount of sweeping on the lawsuit shit that is done. Oh, it's not doxing because it's a lawsuit. No, Ethan went through, censored his own lawyer's information, produced a new version of the lawsuit to show on his stream, and this one censored the lawyer's information but did not censor any of the defendants. That's not just filing a lawsuit against someone. That's not just the court filings exist. That's you've gone out of your way to produce a version that censors some information but not the information of the people that you're trying to fuck over. And then you've produced that on your stream. That is super intentional. That is intentional.
The interstate stalking statute. However, one scholar has argued these statutes are woefully inadequate to prevent doxing because their terms are under-inclusive and they are rarely enforced.
But obviously, Hutch has no problem with that kind of doxing. Hutch actually supports that kind of doxing because he's always on H3's podcast. He's always on there. And like Hutch was just saying, he's showing their videos too. And like Hutch was saying about Bad Empanada, you know, if someone doesn't support this stuff, maybe you should stop playing his videos on his stream all the time. But Hutch spends all his time on H3's dick. So I assume the same standard applies. I can only assume the same standard
Interstate Communication Statute, for example, only criminalizes explicit threats to kidnap or injure a person, but in many cases of doxing, a doxer may never convey an explicit threat to kidnap or injure. Etymology? History? Filing a lawsuit, like a public filing of a lawsuit. We're calling that doxing.
That's not what it was.
So
it's not what it
what
was.
he's talking about here. Some guy, I think it was the guy who replied to a Gila Instagram post where she had gotten a tattoo of, I think, a Star of David, and I think the person left a comment saying like, "You belong in hell" or something like that. And then Ethan brought up the guy's like public Instagram when he was live streaming on YouTube. Are we calling that doxing?
I mean, well, if it's public, there's no problem, right? Like if it was a public FEC filing, I guess there's no problem.
That doxing?
Oh yeah, I pulled up his mom and shit.
You're saying yes, that is? Hold on a second. Hold on. Hang on. Shut the fuck door.
Whether it's public or not, republishing personally identifying information for the purposes of harassment is doxing. That is... I don't know how many times this has to be spelled out to these fucking idiots.
Or for just a minute. Hold on. To publicly identify or publish private information about someone, especially as a form of punishment.
They pointed out one of the photos, said this guy lives in Dearborn, and then pulled up his mom. Okay.
Revenge. Wow. How is that doxing?
So true. So true. Hutch literally can't
Instagram photo. Doxing.
Extrapolate information or read the definition. So how is that doxing?
What is doxing? How to prevent it?
This is like totally
Doxing,
painful. He's just like
Britannica.
such a dishonest, lazy fucking idiot. And look at him picking his nose the whole time. It's
The act of
genuinely
exposing
sickening watching
private or
streams like this.
identifying information on the internet about an individual or group without the person's or group's consent, usually with malicious intent. It derives from the phrase dropping box, a term for disclosing another person's documents or personal information. It has been used to refer to information obtained both legally from public databases and throughout fraudulent or even criminal means. It can refer to revealing the identity of a previously pseudonymous
Dude.
individual, as well as making public the individual's home address, phone number, workplace details, banking information, social security number, criminal history, private correspondence, personal photos, and embarrassing personal details. It is often used to encourage online shaming and harassment as a tactic of intimidation, and is sometimes associated with online activism or hacktivism. Okay.
Boogers on his mic cover. No, you're trolling. You're snarking. That's not Boogers. Come on, man. Though I gotta say, like the HD close up is not doing any favors here, is it? I can see like every little fucking, like, you know, lesion and little spots.
Doxing is usually defined by the platform you're posting said information on. Gotcha. Pseudonymously? Is that how you say that word? I'm not entirely sure.
Up pictures of his family members.
Commenter commented from their Instagram account
You're
with their full
snarking right
name
now? Yeah, a little
talking
bit.
trash to Ethan. It had loads of pictures of them and their family on it. I didn't get sued. I didn't comment on your video with my full name.
Fishy with the gifted sub, thank you.
Jew and going on a podcast. He's nonstop lying
So
about
apparently getting sued means you're allowed to be doxxed. Because we're not saying that the suing is the doxing. Like, Willy isn't even arguing. He's not doing the retarded argument where you miss the whole detail. He's not saying just the lawsuit being posted is like, well, that's not doxing because there's a lawsuit being posted. No, he's saying if you get sued, you can be doxed. Ethan's allowed to republish your information for the purposes of harassment if you're being sued. Why? Why? Why is that a justification? Retarded. So dumb. Average WillyMac video. Just none of it makes any fucking sense if you think for more than 2 seconds. Crazy.
me and my wife, saying she was in the IDF. His fans are saying she murdered babies. He's saying propagandists should die as he's calling me a paid propagandist. They're saying we're valid targets. He posted a photo of what he thinks is my wife in the IDF, but they're actually just pictures of random teenage girls.
Wait, Direful, you're on thin ice, buddy, first of all, just so you know. You're on very thin ice, buddy.
User saying, how do you know it's purpose of harassment? Well, why did he censor his lawyer's name? Why did he censor his lawyer's name and address? We know the answer. It's because the lawyer would get harassed. So then we could probably follow that logic, and we could say, well, the reason Ethan chose to censor his lawyer's address is because they might get harassed. So the reason he chose not to censor Denim's name and address is probably because she's going to get harassed. Just a thought there. Just a thought there.
Direful, can I get you to acknowledge that what BE is trying to do with WillyMac here, all this crazy stuff with like accusing his wife of murdering babies or whatever, can I get you to agree that that's like 100 times worse?
Okay, user, nice one, man. Because H3 community would never harass, but Hassan's community is a harassment community. So yeah, okay, man.
Then Ethan pulling up a public Instagram. Would you even acknowledge that? I'm just so curious where your head's at with this. I'll wait. Dude,
it's actually so crazy that this fucking pussy idiot gets off on condescending people all the time. But he's a total bitch who runs from everything and can't come up with a response if he's ever actually challenged in a conversation with someone that can, like, track. You know? The moment Fabian was talking to him, he couldn't keep up. But he feels so fucking confident just talking shit to chatters all the time. And he's just such a pussy. Such a pussy, always hiding. It's so fucking unbearable.
No, hang on. Don't dodge the question. Don't dodge the question. Come on. Hang on now. Hang on. Can I get you to acknowledge that it's like 100 times worse? It's like not even in the same category.
It depends what's done with it. It depends what's done with the information. This is the case with all doxing.
Would you even concede that?
If someone doxes you, but it's like they find your full name and address, and all they do is you're playing on a Minecraft server with them, with like 10 other people, and they just start posting your address in chat because they found it from your username, and they think that's funny to do. That's like, you know, is that a real fucking asshole move? Yeah. But that's also, like, not really that big of a deal. Like, that docs isn't really that big of a deal. That no one's going to act on that. The information isn't really stored anywhere. The Minecraft server probably isn't logged anywhere. Like, it's probably not that big of a deal, realistically. At the end of the day, that's not that big of a deal. Now, obviously, in Bad Empanado's case, if you take someone's full name or a place they're going to be, and then you put it in a YouTube video that goes out to a bunch of people, even if that information was more readily available, you were more volunteering of that information, because that's being put in a big YouTube video on a big channel that attaches a political narrative to sort of like something you've done wrong, motivating people to fuck with you, that's a bigger deal. So one might have more information or be like a worse docs in the sense of like what's revealed or how it's obtained. But the other one's probably going to be actually worse because the chances of harassment, the type of harassment you're receiving off of it or likely to receive off of it are far worse. So the idea that you can just go, oh, well, one's a public Instagram name and one's a court file or whatever the fuck he's saying, and that just decides whether one is worse or not, it's really dumb. It's really dumb. Just like focusing on that one factor. Very stupid.
Okay, fine. It's 99 times worse. Okay, fine. I can't get you to, you know what? You've been on thin ice for a really long time, to be honest with you. Good luck in your travels. I wish you well.
I asked my wife what this was, and she thinks it's the Israeli.
What did they say?
Good luck in your travels. Nice for a really long time. I can't get you to, you know what?
We're not going to go chat 100 times overboard. I think it's bad for people to dox people, which is why I think Ethan's a monster. That's what they said. So Hutch literally couldn't engage. Hutch couldn't do it. Hutch could not simply engage with the idea that doxing bad. The only way he could possibly engage with that statement is if you say, no, Bad Empanada is a unique evil. This guy's a unique evil. He's just so scary and evil. That's what you have to do. You have to sit there and bemoan how terrible Bad Empanada is before he can condemn any of the behavior of his friends. Awesome.
I can't get you to, you know what? You've been on thin ice for a really long time, to be honest with you. Good luck in
his feelings, and he, like, you can hear it all the time, and his voice starts fucking cracking when he's like trying to ban someone. Not cracking. I get voice cracks. What do I mean? Not cracking. Quivering. That's what I mean. He's like quivering. He's like, I've been really nice to you for a while. It's like, dude, you're clearly cut up about like every interaction you have online.
I wish you well.
I asked my wife what this was, and she thinks it's the Israeli Girl Scouts. So
Direful's in here every day. He's like one of these people that's like, we're going to start banning people that do the thing. Like, look, I'm going to start getting really draconian, just so you guys know.
Really draconian.
I'm allowed way.
That's a nice way of self-soothing. When what you actually mean to say is, guys, I'm getting really sensitive about my chat now. Isn't it? That's a really nice self-soothing way of like maintaining your narrative of yourself, your internal narrative of yourself, as being unbothered. I'm about to get really draconian. I'm about to rule with an iron fist. What he actually means is, guys, chat's really upsetting me. It's fucking up my mental. I'm gonna have to remove a lot of you.
Way too much shenanigans.
Hippie asked me, hey, can you find Hutch's personal info? Don't actually do it, just wonder if you can.
Oh, Jesus.
The streamer Sean Michael Hutchinson age.
What the dude? What are you doing? Why would you? What's crazy is you put the prompt in. What's even crazier is like, first of all, I've already said what my name was, so that's not a big deal, but Jesus.
What does he mean? I already said what the name was. Dude, you introed a show on the internet. He introed a show every fucking day on fucking Machinima. It was every day, every week. Hi, I'm Sean Hutchinson. Hi, I'm Sean Hutchinson. What do you mean? Why does that even bother you? Someone saying that. You've literally been on the internet for so fucking long saying what your name is, and all of a sudden it's like, no one say my name. No one say my name. Bro, you've been self-described Sean Hutchinson for the last 20 fucking years. God, it's so fucking crazy.
How the fuck did it know that? Did you type that in, or did it figure it out? That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Skip? How do I skip? Pending only? It made up the rest of the stuff. I'm gonna skip that one. I don't want to encourage people doing that. That's crazy.
Docs by AI. That's crazy.
I've allowed just way too many shenanigans to go on in my chat for way too long, and I'm not gonna do it anymore. Just so you guys know, the two B's are gonna be bad faith and what's the other one?
Bad faith. Guys, I'm really sick of this bad faith in my chat right now.
It's two B's: bad faith and bigotry.
Wow.
Bad faith and bigotry. So if you're in here dropping like bigoted slurs, that's a ban. That was already a ban. But also if you're doing bad faith. So all the little snarky repliers in my, I have a few hate watchers on Twitch. Every time I see somebody, if I say something like, yeah, I went and saw, you know, Weapons this weekend and it was one of the best movies this year, and then someone's in chat like, oh, I'm sorry, are you saying you want to fucking level Gaza?
Also, guys, now is actually a great time to remind you, 100 likes on stream, 420 people watching, so almost 320 people. Please move the cursor thumbs up, clicking it, or pressing the thumbs up on the mobile device. That'd be hugely appreciated. If you want to take your support one step further, you can do it directly through a stream elements link in the pin chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat, buy a super chat, which will highlight the message and read on TTS, or buy a super sticker, which is image or gift behind the channel. Subscribe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's going to be a ban, just so we know. Just so we're all on the same page. It happens way too much.
Thank you for $10 on it for Cryptid. Huge appreciate it.
Weapons was very
Thank you.
fucking good, by the way. I think it's my favorite movie this year. I think it is.
Is that black people
it's
movie?
That
Weapons.
Or Eddington.
He's just posting little girls on Twitter. My wife didn't serve in the IDF. She came over here at 3 years old. On top of it, he doesn't even know her politics on that situation.
No, I
He's
saw
just
Sinners.
being racist.
I saw
But
Sinners.
the worst thing he did was post the date and address of her wedding the week before it took place. He does it multiple times throughout the video, showing an archived page of our site, because we did take it down to try and hide it. But nope, there it is. The time, the date, the address.
Yale and William McConville are getting married very soon. Yale, who is Israeli and Israeli government-provided wife.
So now our wedding is being messed with, and they are wasting the time of our venue, the hotel, and 2 police stations.
Israeli government-provided... Like, he just says shit. He really does just say shit, man. It's crazy.
It's cost me thousands of extra dollars in insurance and potentially closing down the entire building, and my bride is coming up to me and asking me if we're about to be double homicided at her wedding. I'm like, no, baby, these people don't leave their mom's basements, but...
Okay, now I'm pissed.
Now I'm pissed.
Now I'm fucking pissed.
Now I'm pissed.
That's crazy.
Now I'm pissed. Now I'm mad. You mess with Willy. You mess with Willy. You mess with me.
To do to someone whose politics
now
you don't like. It's just bananas, you guys.
She sees the news. She saw 2 low levels.
That's really fucked up, man. That's really fucked up. If she,
see, this is how you get Willy to not falsely accuse you of doxing him or approving of his doxing like all you got. You have to sit there and go, that's so fucked up, man. That's so fucked up. I'm so mad right now. What happened to WillyMac? I'm so mad that something happened to this guy on the internet. God, I'm so mad. I'm so upset because something happened to someone else on the internet. God, I'm so mad. I'm so upset. God, they just condemned this so hard. So fucking stupid, man. I actually can't stand it. Legit, you have to spend your entire time on stream just like virtue signaling and whinging about how hard Jews have it and how hard WillyMac's got it and how evil Hassan is. Otherwise, you're literally a terrorist. Otherwise, you will literally be called a terrorist.
This whole
bearing in mind, that's basically what Willy's doing here. Like, he segues us in. He segues it's Bad Empanada doxed me into, my wife is saying she's worried we're going to get shot. And she's got good reason to be worried about that. Look at these Jews who got shot. So I go online to check, and what do I see? But some terrorist telling people to come kill me at my wedding. That's literally how this video goes. That's how this video goes.
Of all of this stuff made her sort of took away from her experience at that wedding. I mean, it's a really important experience, I think. Especially for the ladies, but it's really, you know, this is a big fucking deal. And so she felt any kind of stress or any kind of like sense that she might be hurt at her own wedding. It's just so beyond the pale, completely unacceptable.
Wow, everyone agrees it's bad to dox.
You guys, it's sociopathic. I don't know what else to call it. It's like antisocial, some kind of sociopathy, or I don't know what. Yeah.
Staffers at the Israeli embassy
Like,
get shot and
dude,
killed.
why does he feel the need to pathologize everything into a fucking mental illness? It is fucked up. Totally reasonable to say how totally fucking insane that Bad Empanada video is. Why does everything have to turn into this therapized retardation? It's so crazy.
Killed. She's worried. So I'm being told by the police that I should go online and see if there's any direct threats. And I see a video made by a guy who hates
Here we
me,
go.
showing all of my information and giving a hypothetical.
Same fucking clip again. Here we go.
Because Destiny's a hypocrite.
Stevie said anything. What's Hutch's response going to be? I'm excited. I'm excited. Or anyone that supports him is justifiable ammo. Anything is justified against Bad Empanada and anyone that supports him. Let's apply those standards. Why are we saying this about Bad Empanada? My favorite clip, seen it 1,000 times. Bad Empanada doxed WillyMac's wife. So, would Destiny be saying that those who dox people, those who make calls to violence or allusions to violence, should be fair game, and all of their supporters, all the personalities that back them up, all the chatters that back them up?
This is essentially a Destiny snark community. This guy's
Destiny snark community.
Hey, dude, I made the mistake of...
Let's hear it, Hutch.
I do this too much. I'm going to be better at doing this. Like, I made the mistake of, like, I had some people in my chat recommend that I have a conversation with certain people. In this case, Kuihman. And I watched a few of the guys' videos. Not exactly a heavyweight. I figured, fuck it. Yeah, like, it's, whatever. Let's have...
What? We can talk. We can talk. No problem. Hutch thinks not exactly heavy. Well, it should be easy then, right? It should be easy.
Have the conversation. And
after you got raped by Dickers last night,
blow up
dude.
Behind the scenes, before I even had a conversation with this person.
So literally getting messages, messages blowing up. Just go, don't talk to that guy. Don't talk to that guy. Don't talk to that guy.
When I asked this person to communicate to their audience, because they were. It is like an anti-Destiny subreddit, or it's like an anti-Destiny snark community is what it is. Yeah,
it's a snark community. You're a Hassan snark community, retard.
And what I discovered is
what do you think you're doing?
In their minds, it's like digital war. And so if there are any perceived allies of Destiny,
this is literally okay. Let's go to Hutch's channel right now. First of all, Hutch always talks about the shit he's doing in terms of war. What does this say? I am declaring a liberal NATO agreement with Article 5 protections. An attack on one lib is an attack on all of us. We must protect him at all costs. And other people are the ones that treat this like a war. Other people are the ones that are treating this like an internet war. Yeah? What a fucking idiot, man. What a fucking idiot. Literally so fucking stupid.
People were going after, like, perceived allies.
Yeah, it's so gay, so hypocritical, looks like a fucking moron. It's so just shameful.
Kuihman loses to Wicked Supreme and multiple times to Spinalbj, and he still doesn't get that he is nowhere near as smart as he thinks he is.
Yeah.
Very
Spinal rape me. Spinal rape me. Spinal totally own me. No laws is based, actually. We should have no laws.
Which included me and a number of other people who don't even collaborate with Destiny at this point. And I asked this person behind the scenes to communicate to their audience certain things about me, to clarify certain things that were lies going on.
So he's begging me to go around and tell people that he's not a Destiny orbiter, by the way. He's begging me. The guy who had a whole debate with his own community. Literally the most famous thing this guy's ever done, other than quickscoping. The most famous piece of content this guy's ever done. A debate with his own community about getting more associated with Destiny, about how he wants to be more associated with Destiny.
Erudite in Hutch's DMs, don't talk to this guy. He's bad faith and his community called ice on me. They also said I have fishy body odor.
Thank you for the $5, Max. I think it might have actually been the big man himself telling him not to talk to me, though. I actually believe. I think one of those messages that Destiny read out saying that they were to WillyMac, I think one of them, he doesn't actually say it was to. I think it was to Hutch.
And I got pushback. He didn't want to do, he was, you know, it was a whole conversation about, like, I don't want to get into the private, I mean, yeah, whatever. This guy, you know, It's just great. People warn me.
He doesn't want to
like,
get into the private, but he's going to sit here and fucking whinge about it for ages. He was begging me to tell people he's not a Destiny Orbiter, and I said I'm not doing that because I don't think that's true. I said the term Destiny Orbiter could totally reasonably apply to you. And he was fucking crying about it. And then going, like, basically going, oh, these are your guys on this niche internet forum. These are your guys on this niche forum. You know, you can control them, right? You can control them. You have to do something about this. And I was like, you're a disgusting fucking retard. You should stop talking to me.
Before I even had, like, started, I had people reach out to me and warn me, like, don't have a conversation with this guy. It's going to go bad. And then I had a bunch of stuff blow up before we even had a conversation. So, like, there are certain communities in politics, like online politics, that are so toxic and radioactive. It's unbelievable. And I just didn't know how bad it actually was. But
like, look at this. This is so embarrassing.
It's other people's
so
audience,
shameful. It's so fucking crazy.
They like, because Destiny picks fights with these people, they pick fights with people that they think are aligned with Destiny. And so that's how it goes. So if you're perceived to be like
did people just randomly, was it just like totally random? Like, people just started talking about Hutch out of nowhere? Is that what happened? Is it just, oh, Hutch was kind of perceived as aligned with Destiny? Or was it that Hutch got on stream and said there were new details in the court case that painted things in a different light? Could it possibly be that? And they failed to explain that repeatedly, coped and lied about what he said numerous times, and then people got mad at him. Possibly could have to do with that. Maybe. No, it must just be because crazy people who need therapy, crazy untherapized people on the internet who just hate Destiny, deranged hate Destiny for no reason whatsoever, are just looking for any random person. They're just like attacking random people thinking they're associated with Destiny because they're just so blind they can't see what's going on. No, that must be what's going on, Hutch. As always, right? As always. Just you're going through the world and just all these crazy things are happening around you that have no explanation whatsoever. Awesome, Hutch.
Any ally in any kind of way, then they're like going after you, which is crazy. Anyways.
Narrative for the past 6 months is that I'm covering for Destiny despite me making 2 of the most in-depth videos criticizing him. Their evidence behind this is I said Destiny is better at covering the news than Hassan and Vosh, which is somebody who has made videos on all 3 of these people. I think that's objectively true, but I digress. But most importantly, it's that when these 2 do something stupid, I make fun of them back. The truth is, Bad Empanada did not originate my docs. He maliciously
make fun of them equals get on Twitter and say that J-Stalk is just as bad as Destiny because he had an argument with Cherry.
My docs originated on a niche forum by this guy's unhinged viewers. So when I see this clip, it's obviously a dog whistle to fuck with me. He literally gets a donation that says, I understand what we must do. Wink, wink.
Anything is justifiable against Destiny and the people who support him. No? Is that not the standard? That's what he's laying out. So crazy that he plays this, man. It's so crazy. Not only does he play this, but people will just like totally ignore the fact that I'm explicitly saying that's not what I'm for. So crazy. I have principles. I don't think it's no bad tactics, only bad targets. That's not me.
As he's literally showing my docs.
But Destiny is very clearly laying out. Well, smiling, yeah, exactly. Sorry, he believes in. Those are the standards he wishes to be enforced. True. That's true. That's a good point for me.
People in that space, I'm not going to say it's like him or technically like specifically his community, but people in that space then...
okay, look. We will give Hutch credit. That's better than Willy. That's better than Willy. He hasn't seen evidence to show that it's directly from me, so he's not claiming that. That's better than Willy. I take that. I take that. That is smarter than Willy. That's better than Willy. That's more honest than Willy. I support that. I take that. We take it where we can get it. Maybe he throws it away. Maybe he fucks it up.
They see like going after people like me and fucking other people. As that's their way of going after Destiny.
Hutch is my boy. Hutch is my boy.
Insane. Like I have nothing to do with Destiny.
Okay, that's a lie.
Like I literally have nothing to do with it.
Kind of a lie, isn't it, Hutch? Nothing to do? No, you do.
That's one thing I will say. Listen, that's one thing I will say is like, I reached out to Kuihman and I was...
It's like me saying I've got nothing to do with Chud, right? Obviously, that would be a total lie. Do we coordinate and everything? Is everything like, yo, totally, are we fucking on the same team? No, it's like, I know him. I've received promotion from him. To say I've got nothing to do with him would be an absurd claim. That would be retarded.
I was like, I asked him to tell his audience, hey, can you tell you, like, I would like you to tell your audience that I'm not a fucking orbiter. This is just not true.
This is literally... Imagine I go around and I demand someone tell their audience. Tell your audience I'm not a Chud orbiter. If you don't tell your audience that I'm not a Chud orbiter, then it's your fault that I got doxxed. If you don't tell them that right now, it's your fault I got doxxed. That's what he was doing. That's what this guy was doing in DMs with me. He was pulling up KF posts going, oh, this isn't so bad, this is your guys. They're doing this because you tell us a Destiny orbiter. Like, that was the whole fucking conversation.
And then he goes, fine, fuck it. And then he goes, well, I'm not going to tell him that because I think that's a lie. I don't think that's true. I was like, what?
Correct.
I was like, well, what are you talking about? I was like,
I even tell you roughly what I said. I said, a Destiny orbiter is someone that regularly collaborates with Destiny or makes content in the same algorithmic pool that is positive towards Destiny and covers some of his content, which Hutch absolutely does do all that. Absolutely, just like, he doesn't regularly associate, but he has associated and he produces regular content in the same algorithmic pool, benefiting from the audience and covering the content. That's just obviously true. And that's what an orbiter is. That's what everyone thinks an orbiter is. I don't go on Chud's stream all the time, but it's reasonable for people to interpret me as a Chud orbiter because I'm in the same space. We know each other and we're in the same space. That's the way people use the term, unfortunately, Hutch.
How do you justify that?
How do you justify that?
And he said something like, you make... He said something like, you make Destiny Orbit content.
Correct. You do.
And I was like, what?
Didn't say exactly that, but you do.
What are you talking about? It's like, wait, what? Like, I thought, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me being optimistic about people. I just assume that most people are reasonable. So when I reached out, I didn't think it was
so no response to that, by the way. No response there.
Like an argument, but it did.
I thought I could just guilt trip him. I thought I'd just say, oh, bad things are happening to me. You have to do this for me now.
It's like, yeah, I would call you a Destiny
He's used to peace guy.
I was like, why? I was like, why? What would qualify me for that kind of label? Oh, you make Destiny Orbiter-like content.
Maybe if you had Kuihman on stream, you'd explain it to him in detail. Exactly, that's what I said to him. I said to him, I don't want to argue with you about retarded fucking drama in DMs. If you want to talk about this, we'll do it publicly. That is what I told him.
What the fuck does that even mean? What does that even mean? I appeared on a stream with Destiny maybe like 9 times total? 10 times total?
Oh, wow, only 10 times.
Over the course of years?
Guys, only 10 times.
And I make Destiny Orbiter content? Like, what? It was crazy. And so I didn't get any, you know, like, I was hoping that this guy would, like, try to bring the temperature down, you know. And he just didn't. He was just like, no, I'm not going to tell him that you're not an orbiter. I was like, okay.
Correct.
Well.
Correct.
He even said, like, at one point in the conversation, he goes, quite frankly, I think it's disgusting that you're trying to...
I did say that.
Like, ask me to do this. And I was like, okay, bye. I was like, I'm done with this conversation. Quite frankly, I think it's disgusting.
I did say that. He was saying, or I could probably even check. I could probably just double check. In tweets about the mic from PA Bet. And just check. I said, I find this behavior, trying to twist my arm into making a statement by attaching responsibility for a forum to me, something that's been done to justify my own doxing, very disgusting, frankly. That's what I said to him.
Quite frankly, I think it's disgusting that you would try to pressure me to do something like that. I'm like, okay. I'm out. And bananas. It's just so funny because I was warned. Somebody, like, a couple people reached out and they're like, don't do it. Don't talk to this guy. And I was like, it looks fine. It's like, it's whatever.
It's just like typical. This is just like standard, like, therapy. Like, I'm about to go crazy. I'm about to say some crazy shit. I'm about to say some real snarky shit. This is classic therapized addict. Classic therapized addict. Very tomfoolery, this guy. Very tomfoolery. They are past the addiction, but not past many of the personality traits. The manipulative, sort of like, low moral character, low spine tactics that they've learned from years of being addict. They're not past that yet. So they will just, in their everyday life, behave like borderline fucking children with the most manipulative, unbearable personalities in the fucking world. And people like this are fucking dime a dozen for some reason online. It's very fucking annoying. Gotta be real.
Worried about my ability to like navigate a debate with this person, and then everything just blew up before we even had a conversation. It was nuts. I have to go to the bathroom real quick. Give me just a couple minutes. I'll be right back. This is a video that we posted on the channel on Friday. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Basic ideas like supply and demand is why this thing has that price. That's a pretty uncontroversial mainstream idea. Most of us are not just.
How did that, dude? It doesn't like save my place on the bar. I like skip and it goes way back.
But this was the highest unemployment rate that we had seen since.
I quote tweet.
I showed you 2 times. Here he is doing it a 3rd time. Just a few. Willie says
Okay,
you should delete this. It's just.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying, Max. Actually, I just explicitly said otherwise. Actually, Max.
He's got a shit-eating grin on his face. He knows what he's doing.
So true. That means it means nothing. So true.
Who pushed the exact same narratives about me. I'm obviously very unhappy about this. It's affecting my real life. But instead of anyone actually acknowledging this, they do what Bad Empanada did and try to hypocrisy hunt to justify their actions. They're like, why aren't you mad at Destiny? He quote tweeted your docs too.
Why aren't you mad at Destiny himself?
I mean, true.
Destiny is defending my already viral docs that's already in the hands of all of the people who hate me. We're acting like context and scale don't matter.
It's so fun. How did he write this? Truly. WillyMac writing this on his fucking notebook. His fucking notebook with his pen. He writes this. He seriously writes it. And it goes over the head of absolute, just like borderline fucking mongoloids like Hutch. So crazy. What came first, Willy? What came first? The Destiny tweet or the clip of me? Oh, the Destiny tweet? So context and scale don't matter, do they, Willy? Like, it's just so fucking simple. The most glaring, retarded gap in reasoning in a video that I've, like, ever seen. He's so fucking stupid, man. Truly. Willy is, like, next level fucking stupid, man. God, it's so annoying how fucking dumb this guy is.
It was actually kind of nice to see someone with a big audience who I've criticized in the past stand up for me and say this is wrong. But look,
his argument isn't what you're saying. What do you mean? What's the argument then? What could the argument possibly be? It's like context and scale don't exist.
Comment. Willy refuses to acknowledge the obvious, that Destiny is the biggest proponent in spreading his docs. No, it was actually Bad Empanada who did that. Do you know how time works? They hate Destiny so much they're ignoring the very reality we live in. That's what I don't get at all. Is he perfectly fine with his docs being spread around as long as the person who's spreading it is condemning it? At this point, my docs is already spread, the toothpaste is out of the bottle. What bothered me most in this moment was the narrative that I deserve it, or that it's part of some greater Destiny justice. If Kuihman pulled up my docs and
not what was said, and then he just lies about what was said. The idea that I deserved it. Yeah, no one said that. In fact, I explicitly said the opposite, Willy. I said the opposite. I said the opposite. I said Destiny would believe you deserve it. I don't. Fucking idiot, man.
Empanada sucks for this. I wouldn't care. It's the dog whistle call to action that's the problem. It's so obvious. Yet I'm seeing respected commentator Augie call me a hypocrite because I said doxing is wrong.
This is from a month ago. Willy says, you should delete this. It's just doxing and a shit thing to do to someone whose worst crime is being annoying on the internet. So you have that situation there. So there is twice replying to JSock's docs, but then he got upset about fucking his docs being shared.
Yeah, holy shit. It's as if
I don't even understand what I'm looking at. Why can't people be fucking normal? Why is it so hard?
What a high level of engagement. I don't understand what I'm looking at. Why can't people be normal? Wow, so you just resort back to the same non sequitur, retarded, therapized bullshit that you do on every other stream because you've lost attention span. You're like sitting there chewing on Vyvanse like candy. You've lost your focus. You look at something else now. You're looking at porn. You're doom scrolling the porn stash that you've got since you started Vyvanse. They're like one that you lock up. You're like locking onto it for the next hour, and it's done now. You're out. So back to the retarded therapized. Back to the retarded therapized non sequitur. Why can't people be normal? These people need therapy. This is mental illness. Just pull the fucking string on his back and spit another one out. It's fucking nightmarish, man. Truly.
Hard for people in the political space online to be just normal human beings. Everybody is such fucking weirdos, man. Jesus. I don't know if it's just a function of me, you know, I didn't sort of become like an internet person until I was like 26 or 27, you know? Maybe like I've, you know, been in the same relationship for 10 years. So there's like a couple things that just like anchor me to reality. But, you know, is it just these kids have just been on the internet their entire lives and it's just fucking destroyed their brains?
Like literally saying nothing. Saying nothing.
Human beings.
Just saying nothing. Didn't respond to what Augie said at all. Doesn't even really know what Augie said. He's just assuming WillyMac's right and backing him up because they're friends and that's the easy way to get clout. It's like so transparent.
Man, it's why
transparent.
Why do political disagreements lead to like a fucking civil war? Where it escalates to the point where this guy's, you know, WillyMac's poor wife's got to worry about her.
He literally said himself. He said himself. He has no idea what's going on in the video at this point.
Well, safety at a wedding. Jesus.
Context matters. It's as if me calling out a tweet that already has 100,000 views doesn't add any negative effect. He pearl clutches and gives this big performance about my quote.
Yeah, good question. How do political disagreements lead to civil? Wow, people seem to get really upset about this politics stuff, huh? Thank you, Hutch. Seriously, man. Thank you.
I showed you 2 times. Here he is doing it a 3rd time just a few days ago before I even did this stream. And I actually had to like tell him, I was like, dude, delete this shit, right?
But on this same stream, Augie shows the uncensored link of J-Stock's docs. He also replied under J-Stock's docs on Twitter. So what are we talking about? Are we gonna call Augie a doxer? No, because they don't actually care about this. He's just being performative to justify what's happening to me. Augie acts confused throughout this entire segment.
Literally days after he threw a hissy fit. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense to me. It's like, what the f are we talking about here? I mean, what argument are we making here? This is just crazy. It makes no sense.
I know why he's confused. It's because he never plays the original clip that made me mad in the first place. He just summarizes as they criticize Destiny, and that's why Willy's mad.
Too bothered by this, but instead he was bothered by some stuff that Kuihman and J-Stock were saying. And basically what they were saying was it's kind of hypocritical for Destiny to get upset at, you know, WillyMac for getting doxxed when he has a history of doxing people and is currently right now calling for their doxes, right?
So he never plays the context and then acts like the...
Why are people that have nothing to do with that catching strays? This doxing war between Destiny and DGG versus these other people. Why are people that have fucking nothing to do with this catching strays? We have nothing to do with this. And there's like multiple people that I know that caught strays during this whole Civil War situation. What the fuck do we have to do with this? This had nothing to do with us.
The reason I'm mad is because they called Destiny a hypocrite. Nothing about my wedding or my bride. How is that possible unless you're being bad faith? I'm not even sure if Augie knows what a dog whistle is. He's like, unless Kuihman pulls up Willy's docs and then says, I love doxing Willy, it's all fine.
This isn't really a point against WillyMac. It was mainly a point against Destiny. I don't think at any point Kuihman was like, yeah, and he got doxed and I love that. You know? I don't think he ever said that, right?
Bro, if you're this stupid, make life better for everybody and just quit. Destiny has recently doxed J-Stock and Kuihman. His motivation behind this is that everyone...
I don't think he ever said that, right?
Bro, if you're this stupid, make life better for everybody and just quit. Destiny has recently doxed J-Stock and Kuihman. His motivation behind this is that everyone they associate with him ends up getting doxed and harassed, so he's doing it back to them. The victims I know are Destiny's girlfriend, Dan Saltman and his family, me and my wife, Hutch and his family. Augie pulls up Destiny's employee.
What? I mean, I knew... Wait, what's going on? This story, I mean, look, I knew... okay. I'm trying my best to, like, cover this in a way that doesn't draw attention to things. Yeah, a bunch of us caught strays. Like, a bunch of us caught strays during this whole situation. We have nothing to do with this. We have, like, literally nothing to do with this.
Employees saying she was swatted.
I was also swatted. Now, why would she be saying...
I had to have a conversation with my local, like, whatever, yeah. I had to, like, reach out to police and, like, yeah, it was, like, a whole fucking thing.
That she was also
20
swatted.
years of being a YouTuber and he hasn't done that, apparently.
In a reply to this clip, is she saying that J-Stock and Kuihman had some part in her getting swatted? or that their communities had some part in this?
Yes, obviously, but it's all just a coincidence to Augie. Augie pulls up another.
All I can tell you guys is when I reached out to Kuihman and asked him to do what he could do on his end to bring the temperature down.
I did what I could. I stopped talking about him for a bit. That's bringing the temperature down. I'm not gonna fucking lie for you. I'm not gonna go out and make statements for you.
There was no cooperation. So like he's insisting, oh, this has nothing to do with me. It's not my community. We had.
Yeah, correct. It's got nothing to do with me. And fuck you for asking me to try and fix it. Correct, yeah.
Nothing to do with this. Fine. I'll take you at your word. Fine. You say it's not you and your community? Okay, that's fine. But here's what you could do to like bring the temperature down. God. And he just wouldn't do it. And like I asked him just to simply tell his audience that I have nothing to do with Destiny.
Tell people
I have
see, like, I would be lying. I would be lying.
Like, why am I catching strays? I am not an orbiter. I cut ties because of that radioactive situation back in January, was it?
And then why did people start talking about you again, Hutch? Why did people start because you got on stream and said there were new details that changed the Pixie case?
Like I have nothing to do with this. And when I asked him to communicate that to his community, he said no. He's like, well, I'm not going to do that because I don't believe it's true.
Correct.
I think you are an orbiter.
Yes.
Okay. You know, okay. All right. Okay. Like, yeah, to me, at that point, you have some culpability.
I did hear about Hutch saying this when this happened, when this video went out, but I didn't want to watch his react. I wasn't going to sit around watching everyone's react. So I did actually DM him. Basically, tell him to fuck himself. I showed him that I actually had, literally, right here, totally unreleased video. One view because it was on private. 23rd of July. Never went out because Hutch was crying.
And what's going on? Like, if you have the ability to communicate to your audience something that could potentially turn the temperature down, and then of course now even though you say you have nothing to do with it, now you just fully have culpability here because you have the opportunity to like help the situation.
Dude.
And you're just saying that you don't want to do it.
Yeah, because it would be a lie.
It's been.
Everyone's attacking me for being a child molester. Tell everyone that I didn't molest any children, but you did molest children. Like, what an absurd ask.
Bananas. It's fucking bananas. Lazy Sunday with a gifted sub to Mira. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Another example of a Destiny viewer saying they're getting threatening letters sent to their house, and Destiny's like, I don't believe them, but even if that happened, it's still not that.
Thankfully, and this is like thankfully.
So I didn't say that, retard. It was an example.
The situation with my address is not like correct. Thankfully.
Oh my God.
It's just it's not correct information. And that's all I will say about that.
That's a fan docs, actually.
A couple months ago, because I'm a fan of Destiny in the JSUG server, someone in his community sent a letter to my home. I've moved since then. Thanks for telling us, by the way. To my house, saying I defend
for real,
Augie
with the same fault on that
my
delete.
wife and my patients. I'm gonna
Every
put
time,
an X to doubt on that one. And even if it did happen, right? Who's responsible?
Who is this person on my screen? I don't know who this is. Who is this? Wait, Kuihman told Hutch he doesn't believe he's not a Destiny orbiter. I reached out to Kuihman. Is that how you say his name? I said,
he literally is going to spend the whole stream talking about this.
This is crazy. First of all, we're not going to
spent
have
weeks
a conversation.
talking about this conversation,
I have no
in fact.
desire to have a conversation with you if all of this is happening before we even spoke. So because we were supposed to have a conversation, so I said, that's off. I'm not going to do that. And
bear in mind, guys, I need to remind you, when Hutch says we were going to have a conversation, this isn't I reached out to Hutch and was like, hey, Hutch, can you come on my stream, please? This wasn't I'm like, Hutch, debate me now. None of that. It was Hutch sees one of my videos, posts it in his Discord, tags everyone and says, we're going to have fun reacting to this later. Doesn't react to it, and then runs from the debate.
You could help bring the temperature down a little bit if you told your audience that I am not some Destiny.
Yeah, he was asking for the conversation on Twitter.
I have nothing to do with him. And he straight up just said, no, I'm not going to tell my audience that because I do believe you're an orbiter. I said, excuse me?
NJ, basically, but it's worse than that, really. What he's really asking me to do is go, hey, Kiwi Farms, So, guys, Hutch isn't a Destiny Orbiter, so if you wouldn't mind, like, not going after him anymore, that would be great. As if this guy was, like, born yesterday. As if this guy is, like, new on... He just started his YouTube account. Just started his YouTube account and thinks that's, like, a thing.
Based on what?
Yeah, put yourself... It's not even a matter of putting myself at risk. It's just like, you're asking for me to piss in the wind.
Like, what is this based on? And then he said it was a couple like ridiculous things. I don't even remember what he said. It's like the main thing he said was like, "Oh, you make Destiny Orbiter like content." I'm like, what?
Yeah, just press the switch. Just press the switch. Dude, have we thought about this? Hutch just wanted, guys. Hutch just wanted me to press the switch. You know, people will tell you, you can't press that switch. There is no switch. Nobody actually wants to see any switch pressing. You're a pressing obsessed maniac. Yeah, if people say you shouldn't press a switch, then maybe don't. It isn't as easy as just pressing a switch. It's simply not possible to press a switch. Okay.
I was like, what does that even mean? What are you talking about? And then he did this like he did this really strange thing at the end where he's like, you know, look, dude, it looks like you're going through a really tough time right now, but I have to stand on my principles, and quite frankly, I think it's fucking disgusting.
That's bad. That makes me sound based. That makes me sound awesome.
And me, like, for me, I'm treating the situation because I'm not familiar with how fucking unhinged this person is.
Just so unhinged. I'm not gonna lie for you, and I think it's fucking disgusting you're guilt tripping me into doing so. Why, so unhinged, so crazy. Whoa, so fucking crazy, so wild. What's so insane?
Dealing with like a rational adult, right? I just assume most people are rational human beings. And it's just a really simple, just like, hey, you know, I think the right thing for you to do here is to like bring the temperature down a bit. Like, take some of this heat off me because it's getting weird, and I have nothing to do with Destiny.
Dude.
And he frames it like, quite frankly, I think it's fucking disgusting.
Very much. Okay, so the thing I'm calling disgusting in those chat messages is him trying to twist my arm by accusing me of being responsible for KF. Specifically, that is what I'm calling him disgusting for. I'm saying it's disgusting you're using this narrative that has been used to justify doxing me as a way to guilt trip me into doing things for you. Yeah, that's disgusting. Yes, that's gross. Why are you acting like that to other people? Why are you acting like to other content creators? That is like a gross way to act.
You're trying to manipulate me to say something that I don't believe. I'm like, okay. And I ended the conversation there. I was like, peace.
User, this screaming guy is disgusting. Okay, man.
It's fucking bananas. It's like actually insane. I literally had I was just not familiar with like this side of politics online. Like, I knew in the abstract that
this side of
get
politics
really extreme
online.
And weird.
So extreme. We're so extreme about politics over here,
there
guys.
were like entire communities.
I'm a fucking extremist.
Basically
I am a
dedicated
fucking
to,
extremist.
Like, hate watching Destiny and stuff. And I guess in their minds, they're at like
actually no. I don't hate watch Destiny. I hate watching Destiny. I avoid that shit as hard as I possibly can.
It's like digital war, and so they're going after like who they view to be Destiny allies. And then I'm catching strays like, what the fuck? I have nothing to do with any of this. I don't want any part in this. This is not, I don't get online and seek out this kind of shit. Like, I have nothing to do with any of that.
Responsible for that.
What about the guy dog whistling that I'm a valid target and getting a dono saying they understand his orders?
Anything is justifiable against Destiny and the people who support him.
I don't think creators are responsible for every one of their unhinged viewers, but it is not normal for a community this small to have so much doxing coming out of it. I've made videos on communists, Nazis, misogynists, feminists, scammers,
still
and
coming out of this
traffickers. People with
community.
millions of followers, yet this tiny little community is where all this doxing takes place, and it's just out of their hands. Dude, they're
anecdotally, what I will, and I've said this many times in recent weeks, anecdotally, I will tell you that of all of my time spent on the internet, being like a public person commenting on hot button issues. I've swam in really toxic gaming fandom.
No, I just went and checked my comments on YouTube Studio. I just saw 3 hours ago someone on the Destiny video says, "What the actual fuck are you saying here? Sleeves that reach the palm of your hands are only worn by autistic kids and self-harming teens? Well, it was irony, right?" No, that's true. That's just true.
I covered MAGA pretty relentlessly for the entire Trump term. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. I played more games back then, but I covered Trump a lot. And, you know, I've had insane MAGA people in my replies and comments. And what I will tell you is that I don't want to mix crowds, because I think this crowd is a different crowd than the black pill lefties. But like the black pill lefties and then like these like anti-Destiny people are by far the most unhinged and deranged people that I've ever interacted with.
Dude.
Like the anti-Ethan, anti-Destiny kind of black pill left are so much more unhinged than any.
It's so deranged. It's literally just, these people have been mean to me. That's the only analysis taking place here.
Or dealt with online. I semi-regularly get called like racial slurs now, which didn't really happen before. And it's always like the same crap. You click on their profile and it's like really obvious they're not MAGA. They're, you know, like
wait, what was, what, you said that was you? That was me? What was that about?
Really happened before. And it's always like the same crap. You click on their profile and it's like really obvious they're not MAGA. They're, you know, like it's listen, I can't, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I think like these people are just on balance more unhinged than MAGA. It's just I'm not really sparring with MAGA these days. And you can certainly find unhinged people when it comes to right-wing politics online, and unhinged communities. But this crowd is like it's like a whole other level.
They're obviously feeding into it, but Augie...
They don't go after Chud like they do with Hutch. True, it's literally because Hutch has similar politics and Chud is more right-leaning. I don't think it has anything to do with Destiny. I think it's because recently people have started to like notice me, and they're noticing that a lot of my content is focused on critiquing the left right now, which I just think is a really important thing to do. I think we should have that conversation right now. And so there's all these assumptions that come from that. So like, because I'm more sympathetic to Ethan in the whole Ethan versus the internet situation, that this necessarily means that I'm like a rabid Zionist who wants to like murder Palestinians. Like, they just take it to a whole other level. They just make stuff up. Like, they're completely fine making stuff up. There's like dedicated hate accounts on Twitter, and many of them are being sued by Ethan right now. Like, it's funny because like each time Ethan announces a new lawsuit against someone, it's people that have targeted me with like really unhinged rhetoric. Like every single one of them. Like the Jake Chinatown guy, he just...
So I've just been seeing some tweets. Hutch is apparently in the trenches against Kilo right now. So I'm just pulling this up mid-argument. I can't both go over the whole thing, but I just think this is interesting, the way Hutch decides to handle this. PV has gone through several iterations, both in terms of who it paid and also how it functioned. I think the period of interest here is from around the time Brianna Wu was brought on as a creative liaison, and the months following, which overlapped with the start of the conflict in Gaza. Are you prepared to make the claim that most of the creators involved with PV during this time were not Destiny Orbiters and were not Zionists? It's obviously about the Zionist Destiny Orbiter slush fund claim. So, surely Hutch is going to reply. He's going to say either, I'm going to make that claim, most of them weren't Destiny Orbiters and most of them weren't Zionists. Or he's going to say, sure, I'll concede that. Most of them were Destiny Orbiters and most of them were Zionists. However, to accuse it of being a Zionist slush fund, I think is too hyperbolic. It's hyperbolic to the point of being grossly inaccurate. Something like that. Or maybe is he going to go with... Bud, for real, why is it difficult to acknowledge a creator you like made an insane accusation? You do not actually have the It's Always Sunny conspiracy board in an attempt to legitimize what are obvious malicious lies. You're a Hassan fan, actually. You're a Hassan fan. You're a Bad Empanada fan. Pathetic. Fucking pathetic. So fucking pathetic.
Fully lies his tits off. The Gato Fumador account. There's like a couple other accounts he's targeted. Like all of the people that he's targeted in terms of like the Twitter people, they've all targeted me with just completely unhinged rhetoric. Completely just making stuff up. And I'd be lying if I said it didn't get to me. What I do is I end up just muting the conversation so I don't see any replies show up on my feed. But it does get to you like a little bit. Like, thankfully I have enough fortitude after spending so much time on the internet for the last 15 years. So it takes a lot to get me like pretty upset. But when you see that many people, like these big accounts just blatantly lying about you, and then you're getting like hundreds and thousands of people that are showing up in your mentions just repeating these lies, it does get a bit much.
He knows nothing. He can't even recite me goofing.
Apparently Dan knows who Gato is. Bro. Dan is Dan is he's a fucking well, anyways, I once.
Whoa, it's suddenly so much different when it's the guy on his team. Whoa. Whoa, crazy how that suddenly... Whoa. Is it crazy how the energy's so much different there? Wow. Weird. Huh, weird. Huh. It's like this guy's no fucking principles. It's like this guy's actually a pathetic wretch.
On them accurately. J-Stalk has criticized Destiny for creating a metaphor.
You don't want to fuck with Dan. That's all I'm saying. It's like you don't want to fuck with Dan. Like
so
Dan,
true, man.
Dan,
so
Dan,
true. So true.
I don't know how he does the things that he does, but that man, he's very resourceful.
This guy is so pathetic. This guy's so
because he had sex with BPD, obviously feeding into it, but Augie knows nothing. He can't even recite me goofing on them accurately. J-Stalk has criticized Destiny for creating a metaphorical rape machine, partially because he had sex with BPD girls. Then when these girls call him out for being abusive, everyone thinks they're just crazy. J-Stalk then had sex with the same BPD girl.
Everything Destiny's saying here is true. Actually, it's not true. Actually, everything Destiny's saying here is complete bullshit. Destiny says, and to think that this was the same guy, J-Stalk Jewstalker, who spent the last year saying having sex with mentally ill people equals rape. Crazy, huh? No, you f***ing retard. That was never the argument that you have sex with mentally ill people, that means you're raping them by default. The argument is that you don't give a fuck about their consent because you'll share their images, videos of them doing all kinds of sexual stuff. You'll share that with anyone.
No, Augie. J-Stalk actually specifically...
I didn't even... What are we saying about people with BPD is borderline personality disorder, by the way. It's a diagnosable condition. Was the original line of thinking that people with BPD are too mentally unwell to consent to a sexual relationship? Like, is that what the original claim was?
Nope. Nope.
Tennessee Frisky with $10. We are watching an authoritarian take over our nation's capital, and you're doing drama slop. What happened to you, Hutch? There's a reason why I'm opening with this video, and all will make sense. We're going to cover the DC stuff. Chill. There's plenty of time.
Is everyone WillyMac on? The WillyMac guest appearance,
thank you for the $10. Appreciate
Excited?
It. Said it's not about sharing images.
I think that the main talking point is that Destiny distributes people's nudes. And, like, it's like a weird
I think that's not the main talking point. I think one of the a massive talking point here is the
infinite rate
machine. Okay, how does the infinite rate machine work?
What are we even? What's happening? What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
It's a massive talking point, which you'd know if you're a part of if you watch the Sunday video. It's not just about nudes, bro. It's about a system that let this happen for so long.
And what does Sunday say? Part of the machine is Destiny targeting mentally ill women.
And the victims are also selected, either for mental illness, allowing them to be easily construed as hysterical or deceptive when they complain about their treatment.
So when it leaks that J-Stalk is having a secret relationship with the same BPD girl and she...
Increasingly convinced that BPD, NPD and other personality disorders is just medicalizing being a terrible person, and I can't be talked out of this.
I mean, fundamentally, yeah. I mean, that is what personality disorders are. Fundamentally. Essentially. It's like, that's not even, like, really controversial to say. Yeah, it is the medicalization of being a terrible person. If you have a personality disorder, you have a personality that is considered so difficult to get along with, so problematic in everyday interaction, that it's a medical issue.
Crashes out on him multiple times. It's funny. I'm giving him shit. I'm allowed to talk shit back to these people. I talked to Augie about this same exact thing a month ago and told him if he wanted to find it, he could just watch the ending to my second Destiny video. But he didn't watch it. He'd rather make stuff.
There's so much lore that I'm totally unfamiliar with. And I watch a video like this and I'm like, wow, what are we talking about? Capital Cups, thank you so much for the tier 1 membership, buddy.
Bro, you're sitting at a computer right now. Feel free to use it. Augie ends this hour-long segment on me, summarizing that the only reason I'd be mad is because I'm stupid or because Destiny controls me, feeding into the narrative that got me doxxed in the first place.
It's hard to, like...
Oh, well, you shouldn't feed into the narratives to get people doxxed, should you?
Logically understand why he's posting this shit. I mean, the two options is literally just he's like brain dead retarded right now, or he's controlled opposition.
Really? That's all you could think of? Well, let me give you a third option. Our wedding is having to prepare for fake bomb threats, and my bride...
What is even the claim that controlled opposition? What? What does that mean?
Feeding into the narrative that got me doxxed in the first place.
It's hard to, like, logically understand why he's...
Oh, are they talking about Israel? Willie likes Destiny because he defends Israel. Let's be honest. He has dual loyalty. He is controlled opposition. He's controlled. So they're just straight up alleging here, or I don't even think they're joking. I think they're genuinely entertaining.
So he literally, this is 100%, I've seen this red light guy around within my chat many times. Absolutely a joke message. Absolutely a joke. You are retarded.
The possibility that Willie is being manipulated or coerced or controlled by Israel. I just, okay.
So brain dead.
How does it get to this point? Like, how do people...
misinterpreting a joke and then bemoaning how the world has gone so crazy.
What series of things has to go wrong in someone's life before they end up in a position where they're saying ridiculous shit like this?
Posting this shit. I mean, the two options is literally just he's like brain dead retarded right now, or he's controlled opposition.
He is malicious. Willie was the guy in the video. He just needs to be away from that dude. He's controlled opposition. TWD? I don't even know what that is. Willie's scared. He's compromised, bro. Super scared of Chud. Do you think they would even talk to Augie?
Really? That's all you could think of? Well, let me give you a third option. Our wedding is having to prepare for fake bomb threats, and my bride is worried about us and our family getting shot. Augie never once brings this up as a possibility for why I'm frustrated. It doesn't cross.
I don't understand. This is what I just don't understand. Like, when internet beef escalates to the point where there are very real consequences, tangible consequences in someone's personal life, such as the case with Ethan having CPS called and having skulls.
The CPS lie. He got CPS
Willie
lie.
Having to worry about security at his fucking wedding.
Stop talking about me. Stop being critical about me on the internet because bad things happen to me. I got CPS lied. Now you have to stop criticizing me.
Understand why all the creators that are in the space commenting on these things, I don't understand why their impulse is not to fire up their stream and try to take the temperature down. Like, if people like Denims and Frogan and Hassan...
Yeah, have you thought about why didn't Denims just like get on stream and say, hey guys, I know that Ethan is like saying insane stuff right now. Actually, we shouldn't be mean. Actually, we shouldn't be mean. I know that Ethan's saying that our family should be shot, killed, and burned in front of us, but we shouldn't be mean. Guys, I know Hutch is having a total spurg out over how bombing hospitals isn't actually a war crime. You guys just can't be mean in response.
Were good people, they would have immediately gone live and said, look, I have my problems with Ethan. I think he's wrong on this issue. But if CPS is being called to their house, like, we need to all take a step back and remember that that is a very severe consequence. I don't understand why, or in the case of like Willie with the situation with his docs and all that, like, I don't understand why these community leaders, these content creators that have these communities, why they don't go live and then actively try to get their stream to take the temperature down. That's, I think, a responsibility that every creator has with their audience. Like, if I found out that people in my community were doxing people or glorifying the dox of people, if I saw that in my like Discord or in any either chat room, I would ban these people like immediately. But it seems like a lot of creators, they like, if they don't come.
Why do I not believe that for a fucking second? I guarantee there are many DGGs who go around justifying, glorifying,
and say that they support these negative consequences. They certainly present like they don't really care, and it just blows me away. And I don't know if it's a product of like being young. This guy looks pretty young. A lot of times when you're young, you don't think things through. I remember being young. I remember not thinking things through, and maybe a lot of these people are just young and they don't really understand like what it actually means to have CPS called at your house, and now you're in the system, and now you have to like, there's follow-ups, and there's like a record of it, you know? They're mid-20s, early 30s, bro. Look, all I can tell you is, for me, I didn't feel like a grown-up until I was...
Just keep invoking CPS, and everything will make sense.
Nearly 40.
You actually just have to stop talking about it.
Now when I think about myself, I think about myself like as a grown-up. Like I remember being in my 30s and having the thought, is it supposed to feel like I'm a grown-up? I still feel like kind of a kid. That's not everybody's story. You know, some people, they grow up a lot quicker. Some people grow up in their fucking teens, right? But for me, that was the case. And it was after we lost my sister, that's when I was like, okay. That's when like things like, I'm sorry, I don't mean like bring the temperature down or bring the mood down. Just like going through that experience, definitely at the end of that, I felt like, yeah, I'm a grown up, you know. OB24 with 15 shekels, is that what that is? It's not even rare. Anti-Semitism is mainstream now on both sides of the political aisle, though mostly the extremes, and in every country in the West. I mean, speaking of anti-Semitism, I mean, yeah. Where is it? Hold on. This is just really, like, this is not, I mean, this is just like full on anti-Semitism, by the way.
I don't care.
You're really worried that, you know, you're just really worried about them, and then she comes in, she's like, this is a really beautiful part of death. And I was like, whoa. And then that made me feel better.
We gotta just skip all of him talking about his sister's death, to be honest. I'm not gay to...
I think when you're an alcoholic and you're in grief and you're using alcohol to cope with the grieving, you're kind of stuck. You're kind of people like you. Glad Ethan and WillyMac are fighting back. Keep up the good work. It's called agitated propaganda. There's for leftists, the propaganda aspect of their revolutionary efforts is an essential part of that situation. When you look at the various like communist parties and socialist parties that have like successfully like couped the government, or successfully had a revolution and took over something, like there's like always like a propaganda wing of the party.
Wow, really?
Of the Vanguard Party or whatever. And so like for leftists,
did you guys know that when revolutionary groups try and overthrow a government, they're usually doing propaganda too? Thanks, Hutch. Wow.
Inspiration.
This guy's like CIA trained or something, no?
From that kind of strategy. And so I think for these leftists, for I shouldn't say all leftists, but like these extreme kind of black pill lefties, they think that what they're doing is like in service to a revolutionary cause. They genuinely have that. It's like
that's so true, actually, guys. Snarking is a revolutionary cause. Okay, when you're snarking, that's actually that's praxis. That's revolutionary praxis when you're snarking. Okay,
a delusion of grandeur. So when they get online and they lie about people like Ethan or WillyMac or me, they think it's in service of their fucking revolution or whatever. So I think, I don't know if they're trying to do a chilling effect. Maybe, I'm sure some of them are, but I think it's more just that they think the ends justify the means. Like, it's justified to lie about people if they're bad people and they believe bad things, or if they're considered like reactionary. It's okay to lie about them and smear them. And
wow, who else thinks like that?
Because it's all a part of their fucking revolutionary struggle or whatever. I don't know. I think that's what they convince themselves, at least, that they're doing it in service of like the cause,
This here is the central claim. He claims, I got illegal access to 15 of his 22 temporarily banned X accounts. Well, what did I tweet? I tweet, yeah, we managed to get archive files containing everything Bad Empanada tweeted with 15 of his 22 suspended accounts. Well, how did we get this? We went to Wayback Machine and typed in his accounts.
So fucking obviously is not you hacking him. He's saying that tweet is evidence that he was hacked.
Yes.
Bad Empanada actually just uploaded a video on why he thinks his police report was justified, and in it, he just reads his complaint.
So this is probably the most serious thing that he did, in that he publicly implied that he had hacked my social media accounts.
Literally don't care about this Kraut stuff. I'm going to straight up skip all the Kraut stuff from this video. This sucks. Basically, Bad Empanada did a false report to the police about Kraut. It's kind of fucked up, but dude, yeah, I'm not that interested. Thank you for the 600 yen,
This
Call.
is for their revolution.
Thank you, Call.
Mildly disagrees.
Well, I don't even know if it was false necessarily, but it was like frivolous and to exploit some specific Austrian law or something to get his information and shit. It was kind of fucked.
With them. Be mean to them. If they feel bad, if they feel harassed, honestly, great. I don't give a f*** each and every one of them. We need to be mean to these guys. We need to be assholes. They deserve it.
He knows the guy he's supporting is doing this and purposely promotes him anyway. A week passes and they're talking out about my docs and peddling lies about my wife to discredit valid criticism about them. They're just trying to assassinate my character.
You're just doing a investigative.
Okay, when does Willy join? Let's hear Willy's interview with Hutch.
And all that shit, and just nothing ever changed. Guys, I have a little surprise for you. Got a little surprise for you. We're going to have a conversation with WillyMac right now. Right now. Here we go.
Kraut does suck, but my understanding is a bunch of the claims against him back in the day were like totally made up and hyperbolized, and he wasn't actually doxing people, and it wasn't actually what it was made out to be. He did, however, hack his cock in half with an axe or something while working at a lumber mill. That is true.
Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Hutch?
How's it going?
Good, good. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, yeah. I think you came up on my radar.
Yeah, there's numerous posts from Kraut talking about this. He's spoken about this on numerous occasions. He like has a split dick. He hacked his cock open with an axe when he was working at lumber mill.
Like 2 or 3 years ago, and I watched a lot of your coverage of the Ethan stuff from back in the day.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've definitely been in the drama slop for a long minute, you know?
Yeah, well, tell me about yourself because I don't know much about like your background here, and probably a lot of people in my audience don't know either. So, how did you get started on YouTube, and how has your content changed and evolved over the years?
I mean, I don't think it's really changed that much, other than the longer you do something, you get better. All I do is cover YouTube drama and like the different zany characters online and the messes they end up getting themselves into. And a lot of people, like, I feel like, I mean, they've always done this, but specifically with this group, if they're strong in their political leaning, I mean, they always end up labeling me as like the opposite thing. Like when I was going after Andrew Tate or Fresh and Fit or any of those guys, their whole thing was like, Willy's clearly a blue-haired they them liberal.
Yeah,
you know. So I mean, this is more like par for the course stuff. Except for the doxing, which is just like fucking insane, you know, obviously.
Yeah.
So what's funnier now that like the wedding's over, but at the time that really sucked ass and was not all that enjoyable.
Well, I want to get into that in just a minute, but I want to ask you more about
literally, dude, Hutch, take your fucking fingers out your nose, man. It's constant. Seriously, this is gross.
Year did you start doing the? Well, I want to get into that in just a minute, but I want to ask you more about. So, like what year did you start doing the YouTube stuff? Like, how long did it take your channel to start picking up? Was there a particular topic that you covered where you started to see more growth on your channel? Like, how did you blow up?
I mean, I always enjoyed like doing YouTube, but like back in the day, like at least it seemed like to me like nobody made money on YouTube, or if people did, it was like very rare. So it wasn't until suddenly like I got back from college and I ended up watching like a couple of drama videos where I was like, man, this shit is like really easy. These videos that people are watching that are getting like hundreds of thousands of views are not very good. So what if I covered it and I just tried to be like really entertaining and just like quick-witted about the whole thing and like laughed at the whole thing? And it was like immediately, like I think that video got like 200,000 views.
What was the first video on? Do you remember the topic?
Yeah, it was by a guy named Anthony Fantano.
Oh dear.
He made a video on a guy named Behind the Meme, and the whole this concept was insane to me at the time. The whole concept was the Behind the Meme guy is like killing the memes by explaining them.
Like, it's crazy. So Hutch has finally tried to respond to Kilo, and look, it is a wall of text, and he does it again, man. Dude, the claim from B and Tassan is that PV was a Destiny orbiter / fund that we're being paid to spread propaganda. Well, I mean, well, yeah, wait, okay, whatever. You are paid to spread propaganda. The point is to spread propaganda. You can say it's not propaganda. You can cope and say it's not propaganda. It is propaganda. It's exactly why it's, you know, I actually appreciate Hassan calling himself a propagandist. Because it is propaganda. You're doing political messaging. You're doing propaganda. You said this sounded plausible. The reason I'm pointing out your lack of understanding what PV was and what they're doing is because it's relevant to my point. These claims are utterly baseless. Nothing we did had anything to do with Israel or Destiny. Other than the Destiny arranged canvassing events and the massive Destiny, you know, funding drives and, you know, all the Destiny associated events. You know. Here, let me blow it up for you. Why was Lycan involved? Well, because it was to do with Destiny. Seems like a pretty weird addition given his Israel takes. And what evidence is there that people were pushing pro-Israel talking points in order to curry favor with Destiny to begin with? Who's claiming that? Like, what the fuck is even that position, lol? What, dude, Hassan never claimed that. I have bad and claims at a different point in the video. That's not in Hassan's analysis of it at all. Like, what the fuck is that proposition, lol? He was friends with people who were super anti-Israel, including Lycan. You guys seriously suggesting that people felt some kind of incentive to be pro-Israel? No. No, they're not necessarily saying that. No. There is zero evidence of this happening. He still doesn't engage with the point at all. Another issue is what you guys say pro-Israel. What you actually mean by is people who don't 1,000% agree on every single one of your positions on the matter. I had and still have plenty of criticism of Israel that I talked about constantly on my stream. I've never in my life been a staunch Israel supporter. This you. That is him. I believe that is Hutch.
This was like a huge problem that needed to be solved.
I've had some
stop the memes from being explained, dude.
I've had some run-ins with Needle Drop as of late. I
don't really know anything about the guy, but it was a very bizarre video to me.
He's very scoldy these days, and but there was something
scoldy back then, bro. He was literally like, "Don't explain the Crash Bandicoot whoa meme."
Right? Yeah.
It's wrong. You're killing the internet, dude.
Well, he had something recent that happened to him where people had DJ Academics, is that the guy's name, had unearthed old videos of Needle Drop making edgy jokes or something like that. And I feel like in those situations, even if that person, in this case Needle Drop, is super scoldy, like I don't necessarily think that it's justified to, you know, entertain bad faith attacks against him. I don't know. How did you feel about all that? I'm sure you saw some of the...
Yeah. Was it like him saying the N-word or something?
Yeah, well, yeah. So he said the hard R in a video, but he was quoting iDubbbz, I think. And then he was also on a podcast where somebody had made a joke, I think, about Trayvon Martin, and then people were like bad faith attacking him. So like, even though I think he does bad behavior, like this Needle Drop person, I don't think that that's an excuse to use bad faith attacks against him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This fucking DJ Academics guy, like, I think, like I've seen some videos on him that were pretty good. Like that guy, I don't think is like the greatest dude ever. Like I think a problem is when you go ahead and you walk around and you do like the holier than thou thing and you get at people for their language. When it comes back to bite you and people dig up stuff on you, like you should be aware of that.
Oh fuck, guys, we need to
put yourself.
We need to wrap this up, guys. We need to be wrapping this up. Kamen Rider Zets is on in 20 minutes. So we need to be moving over to Kicksin.
Do the whole like
let's get through
edgy
this
criticism because it's just it's stupid because we've all said edgy jokes. We've all laughed at something we probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, for sure.
Makes sense.
So you were doing the drama stuff, but then at some point it kind of started to intersect with politics. It feels like a lot of conversations that happen online are downstream from politics these days. Was that a conscious choice that you made to go into politics, or did it end up that way? The other thing too is like, I was trying to think about it. I don't even know what your politics are, to be honest. I don't know. I have no sense of if you're like...
Probably Hutch, because I don't really know what my politics are. You know, I'm not exactly like a very politically knowledgeable person. And I think if people want to go ahead and get like political opinions, they probably should go to people that are a lot smarter than me. You know, I feel like I kind of stick to like, when it comes to my content is like, yeah, when it comes to covering politics more, it's like, it's not really I'm covering politics. It's more I'm covering people that cover politics, because the internet's grown up since I first started. When I first started doing YouTube, it was like very childish drama.
You can just totally divorce it. It's just so easy, guys. You just simply, if you just don't think about politics while you're doing the video, there's no politics, guys. Isn't that crazy how that works? Isn't that awesome?
Like it was like iDubbbz rolling around in fucking dirt and like Leafy playing like a CS:GO or whatever, right? Like the drama was very childish. That audience has grown up, and now it turns out politics has like the best drama. Like these people are fucking man children, dude. It's hilarious.
So like you've had run-ins with all kinds of various different communities. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to bias. I don't know if I'm going to bias your answer on this question, but I was just telling my audience a little while ago that I've kind of rolled around in the mud with various toxic communities, and just anecdotally my experience recently with sparring with, I call them black pill lefties. They're just like it's like a very kind of unhinged kind of left-wing politics.
It's not left.
For me, that's been for sure the most like aggressive, hostile, deranged like crowd. Like, even more so than MAGA, even more so than like Call of Duty fans and other like video game.
I'm behind. This drama made me feel fully justified in my intense hatred of Kuihman.
Fandoms. Have you had different experiences kind of sparring with different communities that have like different political leanings? What's been your experience so far? Because I assume things ratcheted up for you when you started to take a pro Ethan kind of position. Because the same thing happened to me. As soon as I started saying, well, wait a second, I actually think Ethan is making some really good points here, and I think it's crazy that CPS was called, that's when I started getting like really heavily attacked by these people. Did you have a similar situation there?
I mean, I was on the Hassan, like Hassan is a fucking hypocrite and shit at covering the news thing for like a long time before Ethan, you know? So I honestly feel like these different genres on YouTube, when you criticize the people...
Oh, and then Kathy in chat there, I see. I prefer to call them is not left.
Whether it's Andrew Tate or like Myron or Sneeko, their response a lot of the time is pretty similar, or Hassan or Bosch or whatever, right? Like I feel like it always turns into like deflect, make up a nickname for the guy, like call them slop or call them stupid or call them a liberal or call them a Nazi, right? Like whatever it is.
Not Destiny in that.
Like that's always the game plan.
I noticed. Not Destiny, that little handful of streamers he listed who do this. Obviously his opinion on that's changed now.
I personally feel like, yeah, when I covered Ethan, it like suddenly like brought in Bad Empanada because he's obviously been platformed by Hassan. And the minute I turned and I criticized that guy, like I shouldn't be shocked at all when I turn around, when I get doxxed, right?
Well, it's it escalates to these like very real world consequences. So for these people, when Ethan had CPS called on him, it was like a running joke. I was just telling my chat a minute ago, like as soon as that happened, every single one of those creators should have gone live or posted a video or posted a tweet or an Instagram post or something, you know, telling their audience like, look, we don't agree with him. We think this is bad, but this is obviously escalated to a degree that is unacceptable. And
I think he deserves it.
Right, that's the point. Yeah,
some of them did that, and it wasn't enough.
I've never seen like it get this far. Like seriously, like it should be just entirely unacceptable. Like I don't know what the answer is for platforming or like exciting the community who's doing the doxing or doing the CPS calls, whatever we're gonna call it. But it just blows my mind. Like so many people are okay with it. Like I swear to God, dude, 5 years ago covering drama, if you just corrected people and were like, this is the truth, that person would get obliterated every time. The person who's lying would get obliterated almost every time. Every year we've slipped closer into the future. Every following year, it's just become like completely okay to lie.
This is like just not true. This is just like not true. It's just not true that, oh, drama just used to be decided by whoever was right. What the fuck are you talking about?
And not just from the streamer's perspective or the creator's perspective, but from the viewer's perspective. Like viewers are okay with it too. They know it. They got to see it. They're just fine with it.
Well, I think
it's for the greater cause.
Well, I think it's like a mixed bag. So there's going to be like the creators themselves, they know they're lying. So like when Noah and Hassan joke about you being controlled opposition or perhaps like controlled by Mossad or that your wife is an IDF soldier or something, they know that's a lie. And I think probably
IDF went, you know what, let's go ahead and move this 3-year-old girl to the US because in 20 years she's gonna we got to control the media that WillyMacShow puts out, dude. It was a 5-head game, dude.
Well, there could be something there. I mean, you don't know. Like you don't know. They play the long game. No, but they play the long game, so you don't know. It's possible, I guess. It's not a 0% chance.
We got no chance that this is it. But now that we're married, it's great because I can like use all the weather machines and
they got you. They got their hooks into you, bud. There's
control what Fox News says. It's great. It's amazing.
I mean, but so I do think that there's a lot of them that lie, but what ends up happening is that the lie gets repeated so often that their audience just uncritically accept it as the truth. And so I'm sure from now on, you're gonna get like a lot of people in your replies and comments accusing you of being manipulated by Mossad or accusing your wife of being IDF, and a lot of those people genuinely believe this stuff.
Yeah, no, but I agree with you, dude. But there's entirely on that. That's objectively true what you just said. But there is also a shocking amount of viewers who are entirely okay with the lie.
Yeah,
like in a way I've never seen before. Like this is not normal. It's not exclusive to me. It's just every year from 2020, like COVID broke everybody's brains or something, dude.
Yeah.
Every year from 2020, it's just become like more.
I want to almost give WillyMac a little bit here. I think there is a little bit of truth to this. There is like a newer sort of. I don't think it lines up with 2020. I think honestly it lines up with just everything going to shit with like Trump and no one caring about like what's true and all that anymore. You know, not that I think it's all Trump. It's just like that kind of is the marker that everyone uses. But like just as the internet, I think a lot of it's probably just due to the internet and being able to communicate with other people so quickly with no buy-in, being able to spread information so quickly with no effort. You know, like it does just kind of rape the ability for truth to be heard. But people have become over time, I think, there is like a type of person that is just like willingly bought in to like a lie and lies on behalf of someone else, you know? Like, loads of DGGers, they know what they're saying is untrue, but they will lie to you, and they're lying to you because they just, simply, it's just, they like Destiny, and they're on that team. They feel like they're in that group, and they will just lie and lie and lie and lie, and just do what they can. And then you'll get moments where they admit that. And they'll literally admit they're doing that. So, yeah. I mean, there is a little bit of truth to this, for sure.
We're okay. Like, I mean, for fuck's sake, dude, like, we see the fucking president do this shit, right?
Well, I was just about to say.
Lying about numbers or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to say, I think the way that we can sort of unpack why this is the case now, why everyone is just so okay with this kind of lying, is because I think people have watched Donald Trump lie to a degree.
Oh, no, and Hutch is making my similar point. I don't think it's because of seeing Trump. I think it's just because seeing Trump just sped it up. It's because of the internet. It's because of technology. It's because of phones, because of TikToks, because of short-form content. It's because of tweets. It's just the rapid spread of information with no investment, no checking. The ability for anyone to create an account and get hundreds of thousands of views. That's what's fucked up.
Literally never seen in terms of like a U.S. politician and face no consequences of that from that. And then even more, they've seen him benefit from that. Like they've seen him manipulate his own followers into thinking the most ridiculous things like windmills cause cancer and blah, blah, blah. And so I think a lot of them, it is like a black pill kind of thing.
That's said?
Yeah, he thinks that windmills cause cancer. Like he said this 1,000 times. And he thinks that they kill whales. I mean, he's just, whatever. I mean, this is just one of like thousands of lies that this guy regularly says. But I think people in the left-wing spaces, they saw that he really was able to gain a lot of power by manipulating his own people in that way. And so now I just think we're living in kind of like this post-truth era where I think their thinking is probably like, fuck it, right? This is just an information war. Everybody else is doing it. It works. And so we're just going to do it. Yeah. So
it's political activism to dox my wedding.
It's praxis. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to get into that with you. I mean, like, they're going to treat this like a joke, but if you feel comfortable with whatever details you feel comfortable sharing,
yeah.
I imagine that was really stressful. So like you've spent probably better part of a year planning for this event to happen. You're really close to the wedding day. In a lot of cases, like this type of ceremony really means like a lot to the bride. And then you have to sit her down and tell her what's going on. Like, can you talk about what that conversation was like and how that?
I don't want to get into like those details.
No, yeah, not specific. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
The point is, it just sucked. Like it was chaotic. There was a lot of planning and logistics that had to change to like communicate with all of these different people in the police stations. Like, hey, this is what's going on, and it's just a huge waste of everybody's time. Like, it's just a massive waste of everyone's time. The whole point is to make you feel paranoid. Even though like deep down, like I knew none of these people are gonna fucking leave their mom's basements, right? But it sucked. It wasn't fun. It was annoying. But like luckily, like we had people that were like really good and have dealt with stuff like this before, like that were involved. And not just Ethan, but my planner, like the stations had dealt with that, the venue had dealt with that. So it just, everything ended up working out and going off without a hitch. And it was like the best day ever, man. Seriously.
So you guys did manage to have a good time despite that. You managed to.
It's fucking great. It's like the greatest day ever. That's seriously. Cool. It's like probably, maybe biased. Might be the best wedding that ever happened.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because, I mean, I know how vicious this crowd is. And so the thought of like that negatively impacting this really special day for you guys was really upsetting for, even though I don't know you guys, just like the concept of that happening is something that I think is indicative of a culture that's like really rotten in online spaces. I think you can be really blunt and have disagreements with people, and even you don't have to be nice to them. You can be mean sometimes. But once we start
Hutch just has so much empathy for people that are going through the same thing as him.
Into the situation where you got to worry about logistical concerns for security for your wedding because of this, then I think it's like really escalated to a point where I'm afraid that something is really bad is going to have to happen for people to understand the seriousness of these kinds of things. I hope
literally it's the point where it's no longer online banter at that point, and you're just like affecting people's real lives.
Yeah,
and like that sucks. Like that's not. I don't understand how this is like, because this is something that I get like they're weaponizing for their side right now, and it probably feels like kind of good. Like, oh yeah, we're fucking with them. But like, dude, at any point that could turn on you. It's like you're the rules of the game you're calling for to be changed here is like incredibly dangerous. And I don't think like any creator online, no matter what kind of content you create, should be asking for it to go there.
How does BE? I don't understand. So does YouTube just not take action against this guy? Like I don't understand.
So I think he blurred the video, so they just thought like YouTube thought that was enough that he blurred that one little part, even though when he scrolls down, it still shows it. He's still blasting my name, saying my name to everybody. Just YouTube doesn't care. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do there or why, but.
Do you feel kind of reluctance to cover certain topics in the future, or are you going to keep pressing on and just doing what you do?
I mean, part of me is like stubborn and feels like I never want to. I will not give these people an inch because they're so clearly in the wrong on this shit. And I'm gonna keep like slamming it when they're being like annoying or whatever. But like the other part of me, like there's probably like there's a little thought in the back of my head now of like, will I want to deal with this? What are the stakes right now in this thing? So like I wish I could be brave and say like no for sure, but like it's definitely gonna change how I go about inviting people to things in the future and shit. Like,
well, I'm not. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna judge you.
Changing some stuff, like I don't want to exactly like set myself up for the same sort of thing. Like if I throw a big like 10-year anniversary, I'm probably gonna be like, let's not talk about any doxers this week.
Well, certainly making a video about BE is like directly confronting the situation. So I hope for your case it doesn't escalate further.
No. I mean now, like let's face it, we're fucking here. Like it can't get any worse. We're at this point.
Yeah. I guess you're already past the wedding.
Fuck this guy.
Wow.
I'm not going to go ahead and if he's making money off of my docs and posting a fucking YouTube video with ads and getting Patreon subscribers, I'm going to make money off my docs. All right. It's got to be fair, dude.
I think that's fair. Yeah. That's reasonable. I want to end this conversation with a question and 2 compliments. And so the question I want to ask you is, you had that debate with Hassan, but I think you had said that you had no real experience in debate. You're not like the super political person, but you ended up, I think, like completely holding your own in that conversation. Were you nervous going into that situation? Didn't it happen like on the fly? Didn't it?
How do people trick themselves about this fucking debate? It was terrible. It was fucking terrible.
Wasn't it like something?
Yeah, I was at the grocery store checking out my 2% milk, and he starts like ramping on Twitter like, "Get on here, debate me about Israel Palestine." And I told him no. And then he said, "Well, I was like, I'll debate about you, not Israel Palestine." And he said, "All right, fine, do it, Willy No Show." And I'm like, "Oh shit, dude, you brought out the nickname. I got to show up now."
Were you nervous going into it?
I was nervous about it, but at the same time, like, and I'm not a good debater. I honestly think I'm running like an IQ of like a B+, maybe like an 88% or some shit. Like I'm not that smart. But the fact is, like, you don't have to be a good debater.
No. 88%. 88 for sure. I could believe 88. We're not talking percentages here, though.
You don't have to be that smart if you're just like objectively right.
Well, it was really, I feel like it was really hard for him to make any kind of case because I thought the whole point of the debate was to talk about your video. But then he was claiming that he never watched the video, which I just don't believe, for the record. But like, how do you debate someone about the contents of a video without watching the video? Like, how the fuck are you supposed to do that? Just like that was just so absurd that I felt like it gave you the upper hand in that conversation.
We did it, and then every time I would get to the point where it's like, see how you're fucking this up, see how you're doing that wrong. He would just be like, yeah, all right, next topic. It's like, okay, so like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we'll take that one that's probably as good as we're ever gonna get from. The whole point of Hassan, like,
it's like Willy's video had just come out, I'm pretty sure, and Hassan's like, okay, debate me about this then. Debate me about Israel Palestine. Willy's like, no, I only debate you about you. Okay, come on then. And he goes on, and then Willy's like, did you watch my video? Hassan's like, no, I didn't watch your gay video. you know, make the point yourself. Well, he said, no, you watch my video. Watch my video.
And then he realized like he was on the back foot of that debate, and I actually had like receipts and was documented on this stuff. He just started yelling at me and like name calling the whole time and doing what he calls like debate pedophilia or whatever.
Well, that I felt like that took balls to step into that space, because that guy covers politics for like 8 to 12 hours every day, and you cover drama. You're not a super political person, so I had
debates about as much as me though, Hutch. Like, let's be fair, the debate experience is probably even.
he certainly does it less these days.
He's debated somebody that wasn't like a 16-year-old Israeli kid.
So I want to end the conversation with a compliment. The beard, fucking good look, bro. That's an upgrade for you, man. I want to see like an even thicker beard. Like, I want to see like, yeah.
Try, dude. Let it come at me for my small chin. So the best part about growing a beard is, boom, you hide that shit. It's the male version of makeup.
It's a hack for like 90% of dudes, just grow out the beard. But, yeah,
it is, dude. It's nice.
Well, thanks for coming on. I'm glad to hear that your wedding, that you guys were still able to enjoy it. It was the best day ever. The thought of them like ruining that for you was pretty upsetting. So the fact that you guys had such a good day, I think, is a testament to them just like utterly failing at that.
No, I appreciate the support. I appreciate people from like, you know, every background coming out and saying like, yeah, that's fucking insane. And no, thanks guys. All right, I'll see you around. Pleasure meeting you, Hutch.
Hey, take it easy, man. It's fucking crazy, man. That's even if you don't like someone, you know, even if you have like a personal grievance with someone like that crowd has with him, I don't understand why you have to sacrifice your fucking humanity and celebrate something like him having to hire security for his wedding. Like, I don't care how much
sacrifice your humanity by making jokes about WillyMac. Okay. Well, there we go. That's the end of the Hutch segment I wanted to watch today. We got to the end of that. I wanted to just see what his reaction to all that stuff was, because I didn't watch it at the time because I was trying to go easy on Hutch. But I'm obsessed with this guy. I'm obsessed. I can't stop thinking about him. I lay awake at night thinking about Hutch. I just think about like what horrible things am I going to say about Hutch on Hutchinson on my live stream tomorrow. That's all I'm thinking about all day, every day. Crazy. I need therapy, medication.